Good afternoon and welcome to Darling Stadium in Hampton, Virginia for the second game of the Darling doubleheader here on October 13, 2018, courtesy of Tropical Storm Michael. This is Frank Edgar coming to you from the stadium along with my partner Wube Gabray, and we're here to watch another matchup between the Hampton Crabbers and the home team today, the Phoebus Phantoms. Wube,
yes,
it's exciting to be here. We've been here all day waiting for this game.
Yes, we have, and all season, all day, we've been waiting for this game. Hampton comes in uncharacteristically at 3-3, Phoebus at 4-1. Frank, but I've mentioned this: records mean nothing in this game. It's a rivalry, so just strap it up and play and see who can win it.
Well, I understand Coach Mike Smith, the head coach of Hampton, considers his team 2-0,
yeah.
which is the number of games he has been back as the head coach following a 30-day mandatory sit-out for his retirement conditions as he retired as Dean of Boys over at Hampton High at the end of last school year. So he is back on the sidelines for the third time this season. He's 2-0, and his Crabbers haven't been scored on in those two games. Yeah,
they beat Denby in a game that was shortened by the weather, and then they beat Minchville 16-0 the last time they were on the field. So you're right, they haven't been scored on, but they're going to have a tough time keeping Phoebus out of the end zone today with their high-power offense.
Well, it should be a great matchup. Coach Jeremy Blunt said his team is ready to go. He, like the coaches in our game this morning, we were able to cover the Kecoughtan-Denby game, won by Kecoughtan 41-8. But those coaches also acknowledged they had not seen their players since Wednesday due to the passing, the brushing we got actually right over the head of the stadium, probably the center of what was Hurricane Michael. We want to take this moment to send our regards to our fans and friends and family down in Florida and in southern Georgia that took the brunt of that storm. We had but a small piece, and we have probably 200,000 people without power here on the peninsula.
Yeah, you definitely want to, our thoughts and prayers are with the families who still have no power and had trees in their yard like your family did, Frank. So, we want to definitely, hopefully they have power on. They can watch us later on this weekend, and or maybe come out to the stadium and enjoy the game. So this is somewhat of a escape from the weather, a big game here at Darling Stadium, and hopefully we can have a good game to enjoy.
Well, if it wasn't big enough, we had the Great American Rivalry Series here, yet again for a Hampton Phoebus matchup. We were so pleased today to see Scott Bradingham from Great American Rivalry come down and bring his program down here yet again. He's broadcast, what do you say, about 100 games in the fall, and he's seen some good ones, but he loves the intensity of this matchup. So thank you, Scott. And, of course, your bride, Kristen Collins Bradingham, also, both of them Kecoughtan High grads, which we found out this morning. We were here at 7:30 talking to Scott as he was blowing up the big football you'll see at the end of the field. We are going to pause a minute while the Phoebus Phantom Band leads us in the national anthem before we get going here in this great game. Crabbers on the field, the Phantom still in the locker room. And the colors now being presented the Marine Corps ROTC over at Phoebus High School. And I take that back. That looks like the Marine Corps.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
This great American rivalry contest between the Hampton Crabbers and the Phoebus Phantoms. Colors now being taken off the field by the Marines. Young men making up the color guard today certainly appear to be able to go right into the service. If they're not, I think, are they ROTC at Phoebus High School, junior ROTC? Well, they sure look sharp out there. Thank you for doing that, young men. We're pleased to have them here with us. And the band, of course, from Phoebus. Not mighty in number, but mighty in sound, and they're going to keep this crowd going as the crowd still fills in for this 2 o'clock broadcast of the ball game. Hampton comes in 3-3. I bet they haven't been 3-3 in 50 years.
Yeah.
We've seen 2 shutouts since Mike Smith returns. What is the key for the Crabbers today to get a win over the Phoebus Phantoms?
Well, I think it's just like any other team. You can't turn the ball over. Both defenses are going to definitely come to play. That's not a question. The question for Hampton is their offense. Coach Smith said that both quarterbacks would play today.
That's Isaiah Banks and Max Pietrkowski.
Yes, they both will play today. So, will the Hampton Crabbers show off their passing game? They haven't shown much of a passing game in the last couple of games. So, but the mood on the sideline, Frank, is, we're here to win. This is Hampton. Yes, they're 3-3, and I joked with them. I said 3-3 to some teams is okay, but for Hampton, it's almost like being 0-10 because they're not used to being 3-3. But life goes on with them. They're still going to come here and try to win, and that's what they do. So they're not down on it. They know they haven't played their best game all season. So I guess their attitude is, why not have their best game today against Phoebus?
Well, and it would sure help the prospects of the Hampton Crabbers getting in the playoffs. They need this win. It would be a big win over a team that's in a division 2 grades down there. Yeah. But Phoebus ranked number 38 out of the entire Commonwealth of Virginia, regardless of their division. The Crabbers come in. I don't think Hampton High, and we look back, 8-4 last year, 7-4, and those are including playoff losses. So, Wube, I think Hampton this is a big game for them. For Phoebus, they obviously want to maintain their winning streak. Both teams coming in having won 2 in a row. Phoebus losing only to Lake Taylor in that exciting ending here at Darling. So a good matchup here between these 2 squads. You see the Phantom band lining up, cheerleaders lining up, getting ready for the matches. The Crabbers are on the field ready to go. What's the secret for Phoebus today?
I've always said if they play their game, they're tough to beat. And a lot of times they do. There is criticism of them playing too conservative, but and they're loaded. I mean, offensively and defensively, they have playmakers everywhere. So, Daniels, he's a steady quarterback. He just has to, again, not turn the ball over. The defense, they have to be, just do what they're supposed to do and play solid defense. And they can grind you like old Phoebus, and they can also air it out. So, I mean, for them, it's just play their game, and they'll be fine.
Well, we see that the wind may play a effect here. We have it here in the booth with the breeze from the west end of the field where the Phoebus Phantoms are about ready to enter down to our left as you face it with the camera. So that may come into play for both passing games. Pietrkowski in particular for the Crabbers is a big passer. Chris Daniels over at Phoebus, his job is to get the ball in the hands of Barry Hargraves, the receiver, and to make room for some of those running backs that have carried Phoebus to success so far this year. This game marks the 5th out of the last couple of years. The teams are 2-2 apiece in the last 4 years.
Interesting.
They haven't played in a playoff game in a long time, but since particularly when they went to the 6 divisions and we got separated in divisions. But coming in since 1976, Hampton holds the edge. 18 wins. I mean, it's 18 losses to 32 wins, and flipped that around for Phoebus. So since 76, since 2000, though, 16-8 in favor of Phoebus.
Wow.
And then, of course, the last 4 years very level, 2-2. So last year was a Phoebus 14-12 win, where you and I pointed out very candidly the lack of the kicker at Hampton, and they had a kicker last year, but I remember they went for 2 at least one of those touchdowns.
Yeah.
that cost the Crabbers at least a chance of taking it in overtime. So it should be a hard-nosed ball game. We see the captains out there meeting with the official Jim Mayhew's crew here. We'll identify them for you in a little bit. But Mayhew, the veteran official, all wired up by our cameraman Steve Fryer. He's ready to go.
Yeah, always ready.
Got a chance to catch up with Steve's son in the baseball diamond this morning. Nice to see.
Great to go over there and
see him double down the right field line and score the only run of that inning.
We should have brought our cameras over there and got some footage.
So here come the Phantoms as they are let out of the locker room. And they are ready to play. Both teams look like they're in shape and sharp based on the two-day layoff. Again, the practices on Thursday night were canceled. School closed Friday, so that eliminates in the Peninsula District, at least eliminates all extracurricular activities, which Wube and I have our thoughts on that. We'll tell you more about it when we start a podcast up again, because that's that has, I think, hurt the Peninsula District this year.
It has, and I talked to a few coaches at Hampton. Playing two games in 5 days doesn't help preparation and putting in game plans, and it's just tough. And again, here you haven't seen your kids in almost 3 days, and the game plan, I'm sure you have a game plan that you're going to stick to, but you just haven't had a chance to put any new wrinkles in because of the layoff.
So we've got the captains out there. Crabbers have won the toss. They're going to defer to Phoebus. So Phoebus is going to take the ball, and they're going to go into the wind for the first quarter. See Scott Bridegroom out there in the green sleeve shirt as he is running the show for Great American Rivalry Series. The Great American Rivalry Series means that this is one of over 100 games in the nation this year. This year, the whole series presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. That Valvoline is now being constructed out at Riverdale here in Hampton, and I know that Scott and his whole crew at the Great American Rivalry Series would appreciate you patronizing his business when they get that up and running. So we want to thank Scott and bringing this series here. What it means for fans is there's a giant football down there.
There it is.
And there's a good shot of it. But Scott came in town. He said he drove in with Tropical Storm Michael on Thursday night. His father's still living here in Hampton.
He was in Michigan. Michigan a couple of days. Last week?
I think his crew was up there. Yeah. They have crews all over the country to cover 100 games. He was describing the kind of games they do. They love this kind of game with the history and the intensity. I know he would love it more if there were more fans. I'm going to just address the fans now. It is Saturday afternoon. It is just partly cloudy. It is cool. It is a gorgeous day to watch football here at Darling Stadium. And as these two teams make their way toward the playoffs, we certainly hope the fans will come out and enjoy some football here at Darling Stadium.
I think our fans are spoiled, Frank. You see a 3-3 Hampton team, and you're so used to them coming in either undefeated or maybe a loss. But Hampton Phoebus is still a rivalry, and it's still going to be a tough game regardless of records.
It's going to be a great game. So the Crabbers and the Phantoms here at Darling Stadium, the second game of the Darling doubleheader today. Let me encourage Hampton City Schools and the city of Hampton to promote a doubleheader every fall. We've enjoyed our day, haven't we, Wube?
I've had a good time. It was a 5:30 wake-up call for me, but I got enough rest. Didn't have to take any kids to school.
Well,
so
at least
good.
You got a warm shower this morning, like me, due to the power. Power being out. I have half power, which means some things work in my house. Apparently not the water heater. So
cold shower, huh?
It was a little. Well, look, it was refreshing at 6:15 this morning. Julian Kramer, the Aussie, kicks off for the Crabbers, and the ball is going to sit on the 1 foot line, and it rolls and touches, and the Phantoms, only by sheer luck.
Looks like Caleb Randolph and Hargraves
complete
both
confusion
just decided
for
not
the
to
Phantoms.
touch it.
And yet they're going to get the ball out at the 20-yard line to start this game. So for the Phoebus, you're going to see Chris Daniels under center for the Phantoms. You're going to see the running back for Phoebus, Jalen White, number 12. And you're going to see the great fullback, don't see him in this particular set, but Kamani Robinson, number 40, who's one of our favorite.
Yeah, we love the fullbacks, Frank.
But four receivers in now for the Phantoms is Daniels with the pink sleeve and pink sock.
Daniels, shotgun, passing on the first play. Complete to Dixon. Dixon with a good gain.
And they go right after the Crabbers. Number 11, Jaden Jackson, the cornerback. And that's going to pick up about 5 yards.
Yep. So first play on a pass, Frank.
Now I'm looking for Robinson on the sideline. Kamani Robinson, as are all Phoebus fullbacks, very integral to the success of their running game.
Oh, there he is. He's in the game now.
And he plays level with Chris Daniels, the quarterback, in this set we saw the other night against Lake Taylor.
And you also have Daniels, Terrell Daniels in there as well. Handoff to White. He's going to be short of the first down by maybe 2 yards. So
already got some pushing and shoving back there.
It's a key third down here, Frank.
Yeah, Jaden Jackson and the Phantoms number 5, Latrell Smith, who was the top academic on the team, awarded a nice honor by the Great American Rivalry Series pregame. Top student athlete on the Phoebus Phantom
Always love to
team.
see that. So 31 from the 29. Daniels gives it to Jalen White, and he's stopped in the backfield. Good
Great
play
tackle
by McKinney.
Yeah, that's a terrific play. Kyrell McKinney gets the call at defensive line today, and he makes a great stop. So the Phantoms look like they send the punting crew. They do. They send their long blonde hair kicker, Anthony Wallace, out. Wallace easy to spot with that blonde hair sticking out of the back of the golden helmet. So Phantom's not going to fool around here. They're going to play for field position. Back goes Isaiah Banks
His hair
for the
has grown
Crabbers.
since his freshman year, Frank. Hair is almost down to his numbers. Deep back for Hampton is Banks, number 1. That's not Ronald Curry, folks. That is Banks.
Wearing that all-important Crabber number 1.
Number 1.
Wallace kicking into the wind.
Oh, so it's going to be a penalty
On Phoebus.
It's going to take a Phoebus bounce. It's going to land right at
Well,
midfield. But
if that's some sort of motion or offsides, I guarantee you Smith's going to decline it and take it right there at the 50-yard line. They got 2 flags dropped, one on the sideline, one in the backfield against the Phantoms. So Jim Mayhew's going to come up. So Jim Mayhew's team with Demetrius Dotson as the umpire, Bobby Golaski the head linesman, Lewis Watson the line judge, Ivy Allen the field judge, Renard Whitfield the side judge, the back judge Benjamin Price, and of course our clock
the
keeper,
kicking team,
Herman Drum.
only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined, brings up the first down for
So
Hampton.
the same penalty call, which too few men on the line of scrimmage.
good to hear that referee mic again, Frank, working in this game.
And Jim Mayhew out there. And this is a veteran crew of officials for this all-important game.
Great. So 1st and 10 at midfield for Hampton. They're going to start Banks, as Coach Smith wouldn't give away any of his secrets. He wouldn't tell us who would start, but Banks is going to get the start. He said that Peter Jakowski would play Banks at all exclusive quarterback sneak as he gets 8 yards on the run.
Well, that's a great run by Banks the first play. When they run it the 27th time, we'll see how that plays out because Phoebus is going to have to adjust.
Now
they will, but Banks has been the workhorse in the rushing game for the Crabbers this season.
Now, speaking of their defense, they are missing a key component in that defense. Joshua Austin is out today, Frank. He's a 5'10", 181-pound junior, and he's been a spark plug on that defensive line this year. But Kimani Robinson looks like he's in there as well.
Ibry Harrell will be in as well.
Spot. It's going to be Banks this time going on the left side. Cuts in. He's going to be short of a first down. Let's see where they spot it.
Trevon Hayes has got him, pulled him back, but he's going to get up near the 43 of Phoebus. Second, it'll be 3rd and about 3. I don't know how long that play is going to fool anybody. In comes Pete Trakowski, the quarterback for the Crabbers, wearing number 12.
On a 3rd and 3.
There.
No gain on the play, 3rd and 3.
More players in for the Crabbers. Wearing number 6 today is Darrell Butler.
Get a good look at Pete Jakowski. He's going to go back to pass. It's going to be incomplete.
And a good defense there.
Yeah, Edwards, Dominic Edwards, the linebacker, senior linebacker.
So a good pass, but Edwards all on and tears the receiver's arms away. So the Crabbers look like they're going to go for it. No, here comes the punting crew.
I thought they were going to go for it. Smith thought about it.
The punter, where's that unusual punting number? Amir Folks is going to do the punting. Number 62. He's got the wind at his back.
Oh, rough snap. Gets a decent punt off. That's going to be Smith. He's going to get it around the 10. Makes a move, but he can't get away from the Crabbers as they're all on him as he goes down at around the 10.
And Sean Hassell with the tackle.
So Phoebus back on offense, Frank.
Yeah. Well, neither team moving the ball rather well there. So out comes Chris Daniels in his Phantom offense. 7:59 to go. By this time this morning, Kickingham had scored 2 touchdowns against Denby.
Yeah, it was, what, 8:30 in the morning.
And people, I think both Hampton and Phoebus fans forget Kickingham now is 5-1 in district, chasing the Phantoms.
And Woodside up there too as well. So 1st and 10 from the 14. Daniels under center. Goes to Jalen White. That Crabber defensive line fighting through it, holding White to about a 2-yard gain.
Pulling that time. The center out there, trying to make some room. Not able to do it.
Looks like McKinney.
Amir Chandler gets a call on the line, number 79 for the Phantoms. You're going to hear the tackler's name for the Crabbers all afternoon. Caleb Diaz has been very impressive all year long, kind of underrated, unknown. Whereas number 53, but he is in on everything.
Got Highsmith playing defense as well, one of their star running backs. So they gave him 2, 2nd and 8 from the 16. Daniels under center. He's going to fake the run, and Hampton defense is pressuring him. It's going to be incomplete.
And he throws it away to save the sack.
Wow.
So now 3rd and about 8 for the Phantoms.
Good defense by Hampton, as we thought. We know Hampton's going to come bring their defense. It's a matter of how their offense comes along. And Phoebus, with a couple of passing opportunities, 1 completion and 1 incomplete for Daniels. So it's going to be 3rd and 8 from the 16 now. Crowd still filing in here at this Great American Rivalry Series at Darling Stadium. 0-0, 7:04 left in the 1st quarter. Daniels in the shotgun. He has Jalen White behind him. Hargraves near side. Latrell Smith far side. He's going to throw towards Dixon, and Dixon misjudged it. I don't know if it was the sun or just a bad route. A little bit overthrown too. And it may have been. It was a good sharp pass, but sailed a little bit on Daniels. So the Phantoms send Wallace out to punt for a 2nd time here in the 1st quarter. So 2nd punt for Phoebus as Wallace now, his heels are on the goal line, Frank. Dixon getting in late as Banks right around midfield. A little confusion on the Phoebus sideline. Kick is off. Banks is going to let it drop. Almost hits a Crabber player. Did it hit a Crabber player? Phoebus thought so. Question was it? Yeah, the Phoebus coaches up here in the box certainly thought it did, but it's going to be Crabber ball, 1st down and 10 on the Phantom 44. So 2nd series of downs where the Crabbers have good field position. All this goes back to the original kickoff, leaving it back there. Yeah, I think it'd been even worse if that thing hadn't touched the end line. The Phantoms have started at their own 20 and not been able to move the ball. So going back to Banks, it looks like at quarterback. I'm sorry, Pietrkowski, Frank, is in there at quarterback. Banks just received the received the punt. We've seen Max, who's a junior. We've seen him run the ball. He can run against Bethel. Here he is, right on cue, Frank. And number 55 for the Phantom sure took him out that time. That's
Josiah Silver.
And again, right on cue, you must have the playbook in your lap because you called it. He ran right up the middle. And against Bethel, Frank, a few weeks ago, we did that game. Everybody thinking that P.J. Cossie was going to pass, and he did most of his damage was done with his legs, as you see the replay here.
Well, see, they changed the quarterback again, and I know that Coach Smith's trying to get away from the predictability that sometimes you and I see, which is if Banks is in, it'll run. Now it's in a questionable spot where Banks can run or can throw. He's got the wind in his back here in the first quarter.
2nd and 8 from the 42. Banks. He's going to give it to Highsmith. Actually, he's going to keep, and he's level. And that's Harrell.
That's the number 50.
And that's Harrell and Gilliam.
Harrell, yeah. Well, Harrell is, I believe, how he.
Is it Harrell? I'm sorry. Harrell.
No, I heard Coach.
Well, Gilliam was the main person on that tackle. Just a bruising hit.
So Banks loses a couple. Let's say Pietrkowski about ready to come back in. So the rotating quarterbacks for the Crabbers so far as we watch the Phantom cheerleaders hand out megaphones.
I want one.
For the
maybe they
fans
can hear us.
So they can be even louder. Oh, Pietrkowski back.
3rd and 9, Frank, from the 43. Pietrkowski back in the quarterback. He's got 4 receivers. Highsmith in the backfield. He's going back to pass. He's going deep for Gunn. Overthrew Gunn. Gunn was open, though.
Yeah, Gunn stopped, too, and that ball sailed over his head again. The wind behind him, and it can be a stiff breeze out here, blowing from west to east. So 4th down now for the Crabbers.
So it looks like Hampton's thinking about going for it. They thought about it last series.
Well, they're winning the field position battle at the moment. Folks is on the field, the punter, number 62. He's a guard. But it's going to be Pietrkowski. Highsmith comes off for the Crabbers.
So, yeah, Pietrkowski in the shotgun.
The Crabbers taking a chance here. They had the Phantoms bottled up.
5 receivers, nobody in the backfield. Pietrkowski's going to pass, incomplete. That wouldn't have been a first down anyway.
So a questionable call by the Crabbers. Give the Phantoms the ball at their best field position of the quarter. They're going to take over at their own 43.
Yeah, I mean that was a tough one. You know, you think the last one was I think 4th and 3, and they punted. They go for it on 4th and 10.
I think they picked up a yard on the change there. I thought it was 43, 44.
But with the defense playing well so far, Frank, they want to take their chances.
And they're going to take chances here. Phantoms come out. Coach Jeremy Blunt's done a masterful job guiding this team.
Oh, yeah.
And he's done it again this year with a 4-1 start. Again, both the Phantoms and the Crabbers do not play that first weekend of the football season. They take their game against the Southside team at the end.
Daniels, quarterback keeper right up the middle. Good call. As nobody was in the middle of the line. As Daniels still on his feet. He's going to get a first down. 10-yard run by Daniels.
Deontay Davis tried to strip the ball instead of make the tackle, and it cost the Crabbers probably another 4 yards as Davis just bounced off of him.
Get a good look at Coach Smith.
No, it was Khalil Gunn that made the miss from the safety spot.
Yeah,
he just sailed past him, and that cost him 4 yards and gave the Phantoms a first down.
Good call. Had a couple linebackers out of position.
The question is, did he call it himself? And that's impressive if he did.
Yeah,
man.
That's a good point. Maybe he did call an audible.
See Kamani Robinson at fullback on one side of Daniels.
In Hampton territory, Daniels under center. Jalen White, setback, gets it, and he's smacked behind the line of scrimmage. They're not going to be able to run that play at all.
No, that time he still got some pushing and shoving. Hargraves and Jaden Jackson for the Crabbers, and they're going to get a talking to. Jackson's got his hands full covering Barry Hargraves, who I think is one of the best athletes, if not in the Commonwealth, certainly in the Eastern region.
Funny story, I was over at Phoebus, and he said, make sure you guys say something good about me. I said, Barry, we always say good things about you, but make a play and we'll say whatever you want us to say.
Yeah.
But he watches, he's a fan.
Yeah, he makes plenty of plays for the Phantoms.
Great plays.
Player of the week a couple weeks ago for the Daily Press.
Yep, 2nd and 12 from the 48. Daniels under center. Gonna give it to White, and Hampton's all over that play. It's going to be a flag. I don't know what they're going to call. It might be a hold.
I think there's also a hold in addition to Highsmith just jamming the running game.
So let's watch it here, Frank. Let's see if we can catch the hold.
So Mayhew will do some talking, and they'll figure out where to start this from. So he'll come back 10 yards on the hold. It gives Phantoms a repeat of that second down.
Holding.
And back
Second
goes
down.
the ball. Now, Phoebus, last time we saw Phoebus was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
When they played a very good game against Lake Taylor.
It was one of our best games.
A game there, there was a bad call towards the end on the last drive by Lake Taylor. It may have cost them the game. Lake Taylor was driving the ball. And Phantoms not as strong on passing defense as they need to be. They gave up a 30-yarder due to a bad call.
2nd and 24 from the 40. Daniels rolls out right. He's going to pass. He has a receiver, and it's through Dixon's hands.
And that's the second time we've seen a ball go past Dixon. That time looked like it was catchable, but no catch.
Right through Dixon's hands.
Now, good coverage and good pressure on the quarterback so far.
Yes.
I don't think Lake Taylor got that much pressure on
I don't
Daniels.
think so either. And when Jalen White gets the ball, the Hampton defensive line is in the backfield. So 3rd and 24. Dangerous position here for Phoebus. They have to make sure they don't try to do too much.
Well, they've given back that first 10 yards that they got in the first play of this drive.
So Daniels directing traffic. Now Jalen White goes behind Daniels, and it's going to be.
It's too much time, and it's because Daniels and White were a little bit confused on positioning in the backfield. So that's going to cost them another 5.
This is what I was worried about with Phoebus. Just mistakes early, keeping Hampton, a Hampton team that is not lacking any confidence. Keep them in it, and a big play can turn this game around.
Well, you know, no longer lacking confidence. They didn't look real strong against Kickingham when we saw them last.
You know, but talking to the coaches, they never really thought they couldn't win games. They just know they haven't played their best game, and who knows? Today might be their best game. 3rd and 29. Daniels back to pass. They're going to call a screen to Jalen White. Good defense by Hampton as Diaz and who else is that on? Number 5 makes a tackle.
Number 5, yeah.
Sorry.
Daquan Battle.
I apologize. It's Daquan Battle and Diaz on the tackle after the screen to Jalen White, and Phoebus is going to have to punt again for the 3rd time in this game.
So Wallace certainly getting a workout. No, it's going to be a new punter for the Phantoms. Devontae White is going to give it a shot. Phantoms need a little more distance on the punt to try to balance out this field position.
Oh, good kick.
Long punt. Banks looking for it. Still checks up. Then bounces.
Players need to move out of the way.
That 28-yard line of the Crabbers. So their worst starting position of the game so far, but they get the ball there. New set of downs. 2:26 to go here in the first quarter at the second game of the Darling doubleheader.
I like that.
No score.
Darling doubleheader. You know, we should propose to Andy, maybe do like a camp out Friday night.
There's a lot we could do with this, Wu Bei, for the city and the city schools could do and use this Saturday afternoon.
And have all the schools play. All the Hampton schools play in one day.
Have them play a day where.
And maybe promote their academies, or you know, like you said, the culinary arts can come out and
show off their wares at Phoebus. That's down at Phoebus, Culinary Arts, which has been a very successful program. Up come the Crabbers.
Of course, that's probably the section I'd be in where the food is, right?
That's well, we broadcast from there.
There we go.
Get our choice.
1st and 10. Battle under center. I'm sorry, Banks under center. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to keep. He's going to go. Barry Hargraves had a hand on him, but he's going to get 5 yards on that run, close to 5.
I think, folks, you'll see that there's no love lost between these two programs, despite the fact that many of them have played with each other in rec leagues coming up through the system.
As you see, Banks, he faked It looks like he faked to his running back, and he kept the ball.
Yeah, we haven't seen Highsmith
Butler
get off a run yet.
Coach Smith
Butler
really liked until had that knee injury last year, Frank. He was rolling. He got hurt last year. He's back this year. Not at 100%, according to the coaches. But he's in there, Darrell Butler.
Banks comes back in.
They gave him 4, so 2nd and 6 from the 32.
Got 3 right.
Banks, high snap, and that affected him. He still gets maybe, what, a yard?
Maybe back to, yeah, maybe a yard, yeah. They spot him up a little bit.
You know, I think you're keeping Phoebus in the box. If you have a one-on-one, I would try to throw the ball. I mean, when they bring Max in, they know he's probably going to throw. So Banks, who had a pretty good arm, I watched him in pregame.
Well, that's the predictability part that we talk about some, is it's predictable.
Yeah.
That Banks is going to run and Pietrkowski is going to throw, and it's when the Crabbers mix that up that they succeed more. It's Pietrkowski in at quarterback, the junior.
Baseball player as well, Frank.
He's 6 foot, 150 pounder. Banks 5'7", 160 pounder. Time called, I believe, by the Crabbers. Nope.
Yep. Timeout Hampton.
It is Hampton Crabbers. They didn't like what they saw with 3rd and 5 here, 3rd and long 5.
So, Frank, as we hear Jim Schaffner announce the re-airing of this game tomorrow, Sunday night. When you watch this game, actually, it'll be Sunday night at 8 o'clock. But, Frank, you know, it's 0-0. We knew it would be close in the first half. I thought it would be. And, you know, Hampton's defense came to play.
Well, it's so far 2 teams that haven't done anything special. And, of course, when you don't get you don't do anything special or different, that tough defense of each squad is going to dominate. And that's what we've seen so far. The Crabbers so far have won the game of field position, but neither team has moved the ball very far.
And Hampton's defense is as advertised. Again, they shut out Bethel the game we did. They shut out Denby and Minchville. So, you know, Heritage did score 2 touchdowns on them, but one was on a special teams play. So the defense has been playing well all year. Pietrkowski in at quarterback, fakes the handoff. He's going to go deep. He has one-on-one coverage, and they're not going to call anything. Good defense.
No, and the receiver that time got slowed down. Javon Richardson was slowed down, I think, with some bumping down the sideline. Ball out in front of him. One thing we haven't seen this year, with the exception really of Barry Hargraves, we've not seen the receivers that can run under a ball. And I'm talking about every game we've done. We haven't seen one that can really run under a pass like that.
It's rare. We're used to seeing that on the Peninsula.
The Crabbers had those 2 receivers with the same size and build that could run under it.
They had Bellamy.
Here's folks with the punt.
Bellamy and Gaskins a couple years ago, last year.
Barry
Hargraves goes back.
Check up on him.
He's pick it up at the 30. Splits 2 defenders. Here we are, just talking about Hargraves. And Hargraves gets knocked down around the 45-yard line.
That's a great tackle by Daquan Battle, number 5 of Hampton, who actually came on as quarterback at the last game we watched and drove down and scored on Kickingham, which nobody could do, and he did it by passing.
Wow.
But the Crabbers haven't gone to that game yet, and they punt again. It ends up on the 44 of Phoebus, and out comes Chris Daniels and his team.
Hargraves so smooth, Frank. Nonchalantly picking that ball up, splitting 2 defenders. I was
pointing out to my friends, I had 2 Hampton High legends here today. Alonzo Towns, one of the best baseball players ever cut out of Hampton High, and Stephen Banks, a guy I've known only since 1st grade. Stephen had his grandson out, Deatrice Graham, and I pointed at Barry Hargraves and said, watch that young man. He's pretty good.
And he likes us, so that's a good thing, too. Daniels in the shotgun. Caleb Randolph goes in motion. He gets it far side, has a blocker. He's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. The Hampton defense is all over it.
Well, that is all.
And Anthony Turner with the
Battle.
Stretching
that play out, even though he may not have gotten the full brunt of the tackle. That was all Battle, stretching that play out beautifully for the Crabber D.
That's going to end the first quarter, Frank.
Then we've seen Scylla and Charybdis for you ancient history fans. The two rocks that bash together. When you sent something through, they would bash together and then pull apart again. And we've seen that here. The two of them have been bashed together and pulled apart. Still basically where they were. No score after one.
Well, this reminds me of last year's game. It was a tight game. You know, we were waiting for one team to make a play last year, and it's kind of like it is this year. One team has to make a big play, but we'll see who it is. But right now, 0-0, a tight game, as we thought. Regardless of the records, these games are always going to be tight. As you said, it's 2-2 in the last 4 years.
Always been a close matchup. Of course, the two teams have met, I believe it's 7 times, twice in a season. When they played in the regular season and played again in the playoffs. Once, most recently, it was only one game separated the two matchups. And of course, depending on the decade, you'll see who's been dominant. Phoebus certainly dominant since 2000. Hampton dominant on the history of the series. The two match up very well. Now the Crabbers facing into the wind. So Chris Daniels with the wind in his back.
No gain. Daniels under center, 2nd and 10 from the 44. Here's Anthony Turner in the backfield. He gets it, sophomore running back. He gets maybe a yard. Good defense again by Hampton.
That looks like the Crabbers. Number 24, Kyrell McKinney with the tackle. He just snuck down the line behind him and grabbed his feet.
Number 24, Kyrell McKinney.
McKinney is joined on that line by Orlando Robinson, number 64, Samari Smith, number 77, and Ajim Bagley, number 55. Fetty is what the coaches identify him, but Ajim Bagley. Big front four for the Crabbers.
How you ask some of these coaches, a lot of them know them just by nicknames.
Correct, or numbers.
Or numbers. 3rd and 9 from the 45. This time Daniels in shotgun. Goes back to pass. He's got Turner back there, and it's complete to Hargraves. Hargraves tough to bring down. It's going to be close to a first down. Looks like he got it.
Well, he got the first down. Only blue shirt amongst 3 Crabbers. And the Crabbers could not corral him. Giante Jones back there. Also, the Quan Battle and the safety, Khalil Gunn. But none of them could stop that pass from being caught by Barry Hargraves.
There's the replay here, Frank. As you see, he just sat right there in the zone. And 3 Crabbers were right around it.
They're giving Hargraves way too much room. You can't give him anything.
Phoebus running that famous I formation with Robinson as the fullback. Daniels under center. It's going to go to Turner. Turner tries to get through the hole, but that Hampton defense is all on it. That D-line with McKinney.
Well, he missed the hole, and that's what the coaches down the press box here are saying. He missed the hole. I mean, Robinson would have picked up 10 yards. He was out in front, but Jones didn't go behind. And if you don't follow the fullback at Phoebus, you're not going to make it very far.
They're known for their fullbacks.
Turner, I'm sorry, Anthony, what was it? Turner at tailback.
Turner, yeah.
And he just didn't follow. Now you see Kamani Robinson back in a more traditional set for the Phantoms.
And they run that I. That's the old school Phoebus, that I formation. Daniels, this time he's going to fake the run. He's going to go back to pass. He has Hargraves again in that zone, sitting in there, first down Phoebus.
Yeah, and Giante Jones getting eaten up down there. 5'7", 155-pounder trying to guard Barry Hargraves. Hargraves 6'2", 201. That's so, that's at least 10 pounds heavier than he was last summer and fall. He's added some muscle. But they're eating up Jones over here. He's not getting a lot of help.
So 1st down and 10 from the 28 for Phoebus.
You notice that Phoebus has abandoned that too. Well, I was going to say abandon it, and then they go right back to it. They weren't getting anything with that double fullback.
They're going to go back to it. Let's see if they still will go with the run. As
Joshua Austin and Kamani Robinson.
Daniels checking the play, and they're going to
get some movement.
For the snap, penalty marker, too much time against the Phantoms will make it first.
That's Tyrell Daniels, isn't it? 82 or 92?
See, it's 82. Did you see
82,
the replay?
Tyrell Daniels, yeah.
It's Hargrave's second catch on this drive here.
Yeah, the same play almost.
Yeah, sitting in that zone. That's a 5-yard penalty, so it's going to be 1st and 15 from the 33.
Jones man-to-man on Hargraves over here on the near side.
That's going to be Turner.
He picks up some yards. He's down almost to the 32-yard line.
Diaz on the tackle. You called him one of the underrated linebackers. You're right. You don't see him.
Diaz is phenomenal linebacker.
Just like Majette, Frank. We really like Majette.
Yep.
He played at Hampton. Underrated all over the field.
There's a young man that we talked about earlier about Christopher Newport University.
Yep.
And they're a great football player on the team over there under Coach Link. He was looking at Majette last year, wasn't Majette? He ended up going somewhere else.
6-yard pickup. Daniels back to throw. Has time. He's going to go to it's a flag. It's like it's going to be that's going to be Smith with the catch. Let's see what the flag is though. I didn't see much out there.
Well, that's because there was only one receiver out and he still made a catch. That's going to come back. Maybe a hold. Maybe a lineman downfield. Let's see what the call is. Here's the flag's on the left.
Like it might be too many men on the line of scrimmage, like illegal formation or illegal shift.
Crabber's giving these phantom receivers way too much room, especially when there was only one out.
There we go. So it's what are they going to call a
illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure.
Then I'll come back. You know, the safety, Khalil Gunn's got his hands full right now. Is trying to watch both sides of the field. Number 9 back there trying to.
Illegal formation by the
Yes, Chris
offense.
Daniels.
5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
That time slow developing play, but nevertheless resulted in a completion that's erased by the penalty. The second 14 now for the Phantoms. Big offensive lineup there of Silver, Hardy, Jones, Cooper, and Harrell.
Daniels back under center, 2nd and 14. Penalties are killing the offense of drive here for Phoebus. Back to that I formation. They go to Robinson, our guy at fullback. He's running over guys. Good play by Robinson. It's going to be a huge 3rd down coming up. As we asked how come they don't go with the fullback, and you know that's a good run by Robinson.
Yep, Highsmith on the tackle for the Crabbers. Robinson can find the hole, trust me.
Here we
Because
go.
he usually creates it.
Here he is. That's
Right off the
good
end.
block too by Donovan Cooper.
Yep, and Jabari Batnin, 6'1", 309, wearing number 78. And his girth creating that spot. He's at the right guard's position. He's 78 out there.
So 3rd and 5, Frank, from the 22. Most likely 4-down territory for Phoebus. They go to Turner. Turner with a good run. And it's like it could be a fumble.
Well, right behind Robinson.
Looks like it's going to be close to a 1st down.
Looks like they got it.
They got it. You see more Turner than Jalen White in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah.
Turner's that 6'1" sophomore.
Well, the question that is going to haunt the Crabbers a little bit is, was that going on 4th down and not getting that shift in the field position game going to cost them here? They're in with the win, they're in Wallace's range at least for a field goal.
1st and 10 from the 17. Daniels under center. He goes back to Turner. Turner with a good move. He has a chance to get in the end zone, and he's going to be short, but good play by Anthony Turner.
Saved by Khalil Gunn, but not before, down inside the 5-yard line.
Gets it down close to the goal line. is stopped short of the goal line.
Ball's placed on the 2-yard line
You see the replay
from
here,
the
Frank.
Crabbers.
Look at them.
Just following Robinson. There's Robinson with a nice
There's the
block
key
to
move
seal
right
it.
there,
And
yeah.
then just missed tackles. Finally Gunn able to haul them down.
First and goal from the 2 in the second quarter, 6:33 to go.
So first and goal from the 2. Daniels under center. He's going to go back to Turner. Turner gets nowhere.
Nowhere, yeah. Good
Kenny
tackle, I
again,
think.
Frank. He's all over the running game for Hampton.
So second and goal. Samari Smith takes up a lot of space for that Crabber defensive line, and he's credited with the tackle on that play.
It'll be a timeout Phoebus here as they think about it.
Yeah, they want to get the first score on the board, and they're very close to doing it, certainly within Wallace's range.
And that first score, Frank, could be huge.
It could be.
Considering Hampton's struggles on offense. So we'll see what happens here. Second and goal from the 2, 5:55 left in the half. It'll be also a huge momentum shift that the Hampton defense can stop them.
I'm not sure they can at this close with range. We've seen the Crabbers, they don't have the size of the line they usually do. A couple of their linemen. Who'd you point out to me their lineman from last year is starting at Florida?
Oh, for Hampton.
Elijah
Cunliffe. Yep, he's starting for the Florida Gators.
Yeah, was he second year this year?
Sophomore, yes.
Oh, yeah. So already starting for an SEC squad.
That team was loaded. They had Justin Red, Cunliffe. That's the year they had Daz Newsome. I mean, they had a good squad that year.
So the Phantoms with the ball about where a 2-point conversion would be taken from.
If you can remember, they lost to Norview in the playoff game. Norview went down to score that last touchdown in the closing seconds. But
Marlon Jones in at center there. Watch if he's just going to try to take Daniels in on his back.
Second and goal from the 2. Daniels is going to go back to Turner. Turner is going to be short.
I can't see that. That's so hard. It's Diaz. Coming in Diaz, or is it,
30.
no, it was Sean Hassel. And he's got to come out. His helmet
came off. So this is a huge third down here, Frank. Again, if Hampton can get the stop here, huge momentum shift for them.
They go to that Lake Taylor alignment.
Oh,
That means Daniels
Daniels is
himself.
going to be short. That's going to be a flag. That might be a false start on Phoebus.
And Josiah Silver. Should we know it was Gene Bagley with the pushback that time.
It's going to be a false start on Phoebus.
And the question is, you move back and get another down, or you give them a 4th and 2?
I think they're going to legal shift. I think they're going to take the penalty. They declined it, Frank.
No, they took it. No, they're going to discuss it. No, they're going to take the penalty. So push the ball back and give the Phantoms a second shot at 3rd down from the 7.
Interesting. They, with more space, we'll see how they react. But it looks like they couldn't. They were struggling on the 2 yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 7. Now you have a chance for Phoebus to spread out a little bit more.
Yeah, you see Hargraves in the slot left.
Turner still in the backfield. Daniels back to pass. He has receivers open. He's going to try to run it. He's got guys open, and it's going to be incomplete. A flag.
Got to be a hold in the back, offensive backfield. It is a hold. They're going to push him back.
I told you, the Hampton defense, Frank, they can get a stop here. Huge momentum shift.
Well, the line play has really impressed us this afternoon there, because that, again, not the size they used to have, but some grit in there with Samari Smith and teammates.
It's about leverage,
Holding
Frank, and
on the offense.
always
That's
side.
his decline.
Daniels,
Brings
he
up
had-
4th down.
They do decline that one. Not going to give them so many down, but the ball's going to be placed back on the 7.
They're going to bring in Wallace for the field goal. Again, we talked about the importance of special teams later on in the year.
Well, absent a bad call against Lake Taylor, and Wallace would have taken that
Game winner, absolutely.
Ivy, T.
So Wallace with the wind in his back.
Looks like it's going to be, what, a 25-yarder?
Out of the hole to Latrell Smith from the 14, so a 24-yarder.
24-yard field goal here. Good snap. Wallace, kick is
Looks like he got it.
good.
And they're on the board. So the field position battle eventually won by the Phantoms.
Yeah, but I'd give it.
And Phoebus drives the ball down. And
That's huge for Hampton to give them just a field goal there. They had the 1st and goal from the 2, Frank.
moral victory, but
yes,
3 points for the Phantoms.
Absolutely.
So I think each side can take something away from that.
And again, Hampton's offense, if they can manufacture or methodically go down the field, they have plenty of time, 5 minutes left.
Well, the Phantoms have certainly dominated time of possession in this half, and that's got to be a concern. Crabbers will be going into the wind here when they get the ball. 5:08 left here in the second quarter.
So 3-0 Phoebus, 5:08 left in the half. Hampton will get the ball in the second half. So again, Frank, let's see what the offense can do here.
Well, they got to get a little more creative, I think, against this strong Phoebus defense.
Yeah, they've been playing 2 quarterbacks.
Of course, the Phantoms need to get a little more creative on that. I'm surprised they didn't try another pass.
Well, they try to pass. They got.
I'm just saying they should have tried one to I'd have gone back to Hargraves again.
Yeah, Hargraves is their playmaker. He's a dynamic player.
He can make his own space, which is important.
Size, the rare size and speed.
Wallace to kick it off for the Phantoms.
Banks and Jones deep for Hampton. It's going to be Jones at the 8. Jones up the middle. Jones with blockers. And Jones gets taken down around the about the 34-yard line. Good return by Jones.
Keonta Gray on the tackle, the junior, 5'9", 200 pounds. A good field position for the Crabbers. That time Jones outran his blockers.
Yeah, he did. Waited a little, as you see here, Frank, if he would have waited just a split second later, if you see, yeah, he almost, yeah, you're right.
Got
Oh,
right up
man,
there
a
with
little
his
bit
blocker.
longer, Frank, he would have probably still been running.
Well, good field position for the Crabbers, though. And out comes Isaiah Banks at quarterback as the quarterback shuffle continues.
Banks in the shotgun. Looks like he has one running back. He's going to fake it. He's going to keep, and he's going nowhere.
Utter confusion with whoever he had in the backfield. I think it was Butler.
It's like Butler back there.
And confusion results in about a 3-yard loss for the Crabbers. 2nd and 13.
Silver on that tackle. 6'1" junior.
You know, the planning for the Phantoms to have done against this 2-quarterback system puts a little extra burden on their defense.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
So far,
well,
haven't seen a lot of difference. As Banks generally is in to run, Petrkowski has run 1, but hadn't seen as much field time as Banks.
So they lost 3 on that one, Frank. 2nd and 13. If Banks can get under center and throw one down, but it's
Too much time.
Delay of game.
Prior to the
That's
snap,
been a
delay of game.
tradition.
Hampton, 5-yard penalty.
Given the
Remains
plays come in
second
from the
down.
sideline, you go over to the quarterback and you see Banks make his way over now.
Get at least 2 a game. We'll give him 2 a game.
Even Ronald Curry had to go to the sideline to get the play.
He didn't need to call plays.
Yeah, his play was just let Ronald do what he thought was right. Same with Tyrod Taylor.
2nd and 18. From the 24, Banks under center. Fakes, he's gonna throw. It's gonna be a
Oh, that's
incompletion.
I can't
Great
believe that's not
defense
interference.
by Smith. Yeah, Smith was all over him.
Done all over him, knocked him down. Official looking right at the play, but it's incomplete. Ball hung up in the wind. And knocked down the player, too. Did they credit him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interference not called. Too close, though. Our fellow press box mate, Herman Drone, has the flag throwing motion.
So it's 3rd and 18 from the 24. A rare throw from Hampton.
5 receivers out.
Is they going to get a design run? And I'm not sure who carried that one.
And it doesn't matter because they didn't carry very far. Nothing there. That was the Crabbers' number 30, it looked like.
That's Terry Johnson-James, Frank, on that carry.
Let's see, at 5'2", that kind of understates it. It must be a mistake, I'm going to say.
He's a little bigger than 5'2".
I think that's a typo in that.
Sure, it's 6'2".
Yeah, I'm going to say 6'2". There's a mere folks in the back to punt.
Hampton back to punt. And that's going to take a Hampton bounce. Goes about midfield, so Smith won't be able to return that one.
No, but the ball's going to be down by the Crabbers on the 49 of the Phantoms. So with 3:09 to go here in the second quarter, Phoebus leads a very tight ball game, 3-0. One drive for the Phantoms is the difference, and even that drive couldn't get them in the end zone. Thanks to some stiff line play by the Crabber defense. Let's see if they can keep the Phantoms back where a punt won't hurt them too bad and get their offense another chance.
It's all about field position, Frank. As you said, that 4th down play, it only takes 1 or 2 plays to change this game around. As you see Jalen White now back in the game in the backfield with Daniels in the shotgun. 4 receivers.
Trying to
So
give him a
Daniels
look.
back to pass. He goes to Dixon. Dixon this time catches it, and they gave him a lot of cushion on that one. Gain of about 15.
8 yards from the play was Jaden Jackson, the cornerback. They have gone exclusively to that side of the field against Jackson. He's going to have to tighten up and count on Gunn to cover him behind him, because they're clearly targeting the young man.
Phoebus going to a little hurry up here.
Jones man-to-man again on Dixon.
4 receivers. They go to Jalen White. Hampton again, right there for the run. It's just the pass defense that's giving them fits.
On the side was Gene Bagley, but the main tackle, I believe, was number 24, Kyrell McKinney. He comes off the field.
So no gain, 2nd and 10 from the 37. Phoebus trying to punch another one, some more points on the board here. Daniels back in the shotgun, goes back to pass. He sees Hargraves. Hargraves said, I see Diaz coming.
Yep.
I'm going to drop it and make a business decision on that one.
Caleb Diaz had his eyes got big as he saw what was coming together there.
I think Hargraves' eyes got big too.
Yep, and that ball falls
I don't
in.
blame him for that one though.
First time we've seen him throw to that side of the field. Same type of play though. Hargraves not running any sort of complex pattern, just running down and turning around and expecting the ball there.
Playing a zone, so he's just camping out in that zone. That time Diaz filled that gap pretty quickly, so Hargraves wasn't able to make the catch. It's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 37. Daniels in the shotgun with Turner in the backfield. 4 receivers. Daniels.
Watch Hargraves.
Back to pass. Has a lot of time, and now he gets close quickly, and he's taken down. Is that McKinney again? Yes.
Exactly, yeah.
He's everywhere, Frank.
Kyrell McKinney, number 24, 6 foot, 235-pounder.
Did you see how quick he closed that gap? Did you see it here, Frank?
He was popping the ground happy because he only
time.
had one paw on him.
Look at this. He had time and quickly closes as
and is able to grab him by the back of the jersey and yank him down.
he
So
got away from Hardy, that offensive lineman.
4th down now. Back goes the punter. This is Devontae White again.
They're going to go with White kick punting and use
And Wallace for the place
Wallace
kick.
for the place kicking, yeah.
Banks back to his own 15 for the Crabbers.
They're using him like Ronald Curry. He's doing everything for Hampton today.
Except scoring. That's the only
Very true.
That's the difference so far. Ronald Curry Not sure he was ever shut out.
Could be close to delay again. They get it off. Punt is going to be
Right at Banks.
dropped by Banks. Banks has to pick it up, and that might have been the big play of the game. That's going to be Phoebus's football.
Yep, it is Phoebus's football.
And that's a turnover on the special
As
team.
Banks lets that one get out of there. At the bottom of the pile was Hampton's Khalil Gunn, but even he couldn't pull it in. As the
huge.
Phantoms swarm Banks as he drops the ball, and they win the battle on the ground.
That's huge. That's huge, Frank. Huge.
Now 1st and goal from the 9 for the Phantoms as their offense comes back out.
You feel for Banks. He wants to make a play. But you have to know you can't do too much. You know, just fall on it. And as you see it here, Frank, he had it, and he just got
And
excited.
He should have fallen on it.
Yeah.
Gunn couldn't come up with it.
But the defense held him to a field goal on the last shot. Only 1:04 left in the half. Phoebus in business. 1st and goal from the 9.
They've been out there a long time, had the Crabber defense.
Single setback. Jalen White with Kimani Robinson behind Daniels. They're going to fake to White. He's going to go back to pass. It's going to be incomplete, intended for White. That might be a roughing the passer, and it's going to be.
That's going to be on Crabber's number 64, Orlando Robinson.
Yeah, that's going to be.
A late hit on the quarterback. It's going to cost the Crabber's 4.5 yards.
Yep.
Personal foul.
Roughing the
passer. So, silly penalty.
That's going to bring him inside the 5. It's going to be half the distance.
So rather than give up the down, prevent any movement of the ball and go to 2nd down, it's going to be 1st and goal from about the 4.5.
Personal foul, roughing the passer against the defense. We'll go half the distance to the goal, automatic 1st down.
The mistakes here on this particular series of downs, the fumble and now the penalty. Give the Phantoms a ball once again inside the 5-yard line. They've had it in there for the last few minutes.
Yep. Let's see what they do here. 58 seconds left in the half. 1st and goal. They go to Jalen White.
That time the Crabber defense on the end was terrific. That's Daquan Battle in from the sideline there, and he came in from his corner spot.
Timeout.
Phoebus.
Phantoms have to rethink here. They have not been successful where they normally are, which is power running.
And I've been really impressed by the Hampton defense. I mean, they the game we did against
They've
Bethel,
surprised us because they lost the battle in the trenches against the Kickingham Warriors.
Absolutely.
Now Kickingham's got a 5 senior front line.
And they're big and strong and fast.
But they have played well here, and you see, even with Kimani Robinson out front, and he usually means a couple of yards. That time, maybe a yard.
Frank, we should get our fingernails taped.
There we go, like
Coach
Dickie Van Dyke, yeah.
Do our broadcasts,
We can see each other, yeah.
Great special teams coach again. Like you said before, he's coached some great kickers. Eric Henderson.
And not only kickers from Phoebus, from all over the
all
peninsula.
over the planet. They all
Coach Van
contact
Dyke.
him, yeah.
And why not? He sent several to college.
So 2nd and goal, they lost a yard, Frank. 2nd and goal from the 3, 51 seconds left. Phoebus with 1 timeout left. So interesting dynamic here. We'll see if the defense can hold them to another field goal. But it's 2nd and 3. Like you said, the defense has been on the field for a long time as they're going to have 2 receivers out, Jalen White and Kimani Robinson in the backfield. Daniels under center. He's going to go to White. White has a space in the backfield. He's going to get a touchdown. Phoebus.
The Phantoms score right behind the one. They're riding the back of Kimani Robinson. Jalen White in easily. And now it is 9-0 Phantoms.
Special
and
teams.
Wallace will be in to try to kick the extra point out of the hold of Latrell Smith.
You see White here. They didn't tackle him until maybe 5 yards after the play. So Wallace for the extra point. Very encouraging, Frank. He kicks that field goal early. It's good.
So now 10-0 Phantoms as mistakes have cost the Crabbers. But the Phantoms move ahead. You cannot give the Phoebus Phantoms 2 shots at that. Can't make mistakes to beat the team that's got the best record in the district. So with 47 seconds to go, the Crabbers going into the win, they're going to have to try to come up with something just to put some points on the board.
And what's frustrating for Hampton, Frank, is they had the ball in the second half. I mean, the momentum could have shifted. Them going in the half with a 3-0 deficit. Now it's 10-0.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
It really is. And hopefully they'll be able to recover from that. Mistakes happen in football. It's how you recover. But against a team like Phoebus, it's going to be hard to do. Also, this is going to be a while to kick off. So I imagine he's going to try to kick as deep as he can. Banks back in the middle there. Deontay Jones, number 7. And it looks like Calvin Bryant. No, it's Jaden Jackson, I think. Oh, no, Calvin Bryant, number 21. Back as well with Banks.
Back to receive, Isaiah Banks, number 1. Also number 21, Calvin Bryant, and joined by Deontay Jones.
Wallace.
Short kick
to Gunn.
Gunn.
He's going to get an opportunity to go up the field, but not much there. Let's see what Hampton does on offense. Do they just milk it, or do they try to put some points on the board before the half? They're going to bring in.
Pete Kasky, his Banks looks like he's going out. No. Well, it's hard to tell now.
Now looks like Smith, I think he's going to go downfield. He's going to try to go downfield and get some points.
Again, thrown into the wind, which the breeze is at times is gusting now 10 miles an hour. Pete Kasky comes in, talks to his Crabber teammates, and brings them to the line.
From their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10 with 41 seconds.
41 seconds left. Pete Jakowski back in at quarterback.
Javon Richardson on the near side.
They're going to go with a run here.
Hard run. Good tackle out there by Phantoms number 9, Corey Wilson. And Calvin Bryant.
I mean, it's Parham.
Deshawi Parham is the running back. Haven't called his name, I think, in the games we've done. Parham.
Again, he was a key component last year. I haven't seen him this year at all. Good run, though.
Hard to tell. It's like NHL playoffs. They keep the injuries tightly held secret.
Well, if this is the NFL, he'd be fine. But that's going to be the last play of the half, Frank, as Hampton is going to get tackled after a 1-yard gain.
Ty Smith. So the Crabbers trail it 10-0 to the Phoebus Phantoms. Phoebus thankful for a couple of one decision by the Crabbers, did not punt on 4th down and surrender the ball at near midfield. And the other decision was the fumble. It wasn't really a decision. So the Phantoms take the 10-0 lead in the locker room. The Phoebus band comes out, and we're going to take a break. We'll be back with some highlights and the second half here on the second game of the Darling doubleheader. Welcome back to Darling Stadium in Hampton, Virginia on this Saturday, October 13, 2018. In Game 2 of the Darling doubleheader, this is Frank Edgar and along with Wube Gabre. And the score right now, Wube, 10-0 Phantoms, and essentially it's been all Phantoms.
All Phantoms. That special teams play really changed the course of the game.
Yeah, the fumble by Isaiah Banks on trying to receive a punt.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm sorry. Yeah, the fumble on that punt. Recovered by Caleb Randolph for Phoebus. They gave them a short field, and they punched it in, and that's why they lead 10-0.
They've had 2 goal line stands, had the Crabber defense, and they were succeeded on one, surrendering only the field goal by Anthony Wallace. But then the second one, they couldn't withstand the fullback, Kamani Robinson, with Jalen White right behind him.
Well, you mentioned, Frank, that the defense of Hampton was on the field for an awful long time, and that's, I don't care what level, when your defense is worn down, they're going to get pushed around, and that's what happened on that touchdown. They did stop them, and a good sign for Phoebus, though, Frank. A minor positive, something positive to take away. Wallace kicking field goals. Later in the year, they're going to need extra points, field goals, to put them later on in the season. It's going to help. So they did only get 3, but it's positive they have a special teams opportunity where they can try to get some of those points.
Well, the Hampton Crabbers are going to have to find some offense. They finished the first half with 10 rushes. They gained a total of 15 yards. They have no passing yards at all. The Phantoms 18 rushes for 47 yards, not one of their great rushing games or halves. But they do have 51 yards through the air, and that is combined to the 98-yard versus 10-yard offense difference there in the first half. Crabber's going to have to go to something more creative, trying to get the ball to some of their playmakers and not just Isaiah Banks. Banks is carrying the ball from his quarterback position, but the Phantoms quickly adopted a strategy to stop that. And again, they end the half with 15 yards total.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder what Mike Smith is going to do with the quarterback situation. He said he would play both. He has played both. We'll see if he sticks with one in the second half. But again, like you said, no creativity on offense. If Phoebus defense is pulling their ears back, and they're ready for Banks to run and Pichakowski to pass. So a little bit more creativity would be great for Hampton's offense. With that fumble on the punt, it changes a lot of things now. They get the ball in the second half, which would have been a 3-0 deficit. Now it's a 10-0 deficit. Let's see if the offense does something a little different going into this third quarter. And
in a game where the first half total yardage between the two teams is 110, 108 yards. A 10-point deficit could be trouble.
It could be.
The Crabbers are going to get the ball first here in the second half. They're going to be going, it looks to me like the third period, they're going to be going into the wind, putting the wind at their backs in the fourth. But we'll see how the teams come out. It looks like both are on the west end of the field right now having the huddles. 2 minutes to go on the clock here. I think we got to see a little more Highsmith running the ball for the Crabbers. And I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see Pichakowski and Banks in the backfield for Hampton here to throw off the expectation of the Phoebus defense.
I would like to see Highsmith, again, in the backfield, in the slot, on the outside, and have, maybe Pichakowski at quarterback. But, to throw the Phoebus defense off a little bit, with him at quarterback, they know he's not that much of a threat to throw. So, again, maybe Coach Smith is going to change something up in the third quarter. We'll see. But right now it's 10-0, and they have to put something on the board to keep their chances alive here in this big rivalry game.
Well, for the Phantoms, I don't think mathematically they're in to the playoffs, but I would think they don't have a tough course to the playoffs at this point, even at 4-1. For the Crabbers, this is a big game for them. They can't suffer another in-district defeat and another loss, and a loss to a Division III, which, regardless of those rankings, the Phantoms come in with the only Division III team in the Peninsula District. So, and that can hurt the Crabbers.
And again, they're getting wins over six Class 6A schools, 5A schools, and even the Heritage is a 4A. So they're getting their points are racking up. And keep in mind, Hampton still has to play Norview and Gloucester, just to name a couple more games. So they have to. You're right. They have to get this win today to keep their motors rolling going into the playoffs.
Anthony Wallace now lined up to kick off for the Phantoms. We're about to get this second half of the second game of the Darling doubleheader going here, and Wallace kicks it away.
It's going to be Banks again at the 10. Oh, he fumbles again on a special teams play, and Phoebus gets it.
Well, Banks is again giving away the ball, and this time Phantoms get the ball not as close as last time, but they still get it on about the 34-yard line. Down for the Crabbers on that play. This will be Clarence Holmes. Hope he's okay. He went down right at the end of the play.
There's a fumble again, Frank. Another special teams blunder by Hampton.
It just pulled out there. It looks like we'll have to study the film a little bit. I'm going to say the Phantoms number 42 seems to have it in there, Keonta Gray.
It looks like,
was it Gray that had the
Calvin Bunch recovered the fumble, 38.
But it was Gray. I think they had his arm in there and pulled the ball out. Look right, see Gray right here, 42, and see that right there.
That was also Teray Newsome as well, yeah. And
Gray gets the big hand on the left arm of Banks.
It's like 89 recovered that fumble. That's Jalen Turner, a 5'8" junior.
And Turner gets his name in the books.
So this is not what the doctor ordered.
No, the Crabber defense has been out on the field a long time today. And they're back out there now to start the second half, and they thought they might get a little breather.
2 turnovers on special teams, Frank. Huge.
Daniels right over top of the center.
It's right out of Hampton's playbook. A little quarterback keeper up the middle.
Yeah. Messiah Marrero is the center. 5'9", 235-pounder. He cuts a big swath up there. 2-yard pickup for Daniels. Got the double fullback in place again. Robinson on the right side. And it's going to be Robinson leads the runner.
Turner with a few misses on defense by Hampton. That could be just fatigue there, Frank.
Yeah, it's all Kamani Robinson at this point. As he really plows the field in the likeness and the image of Chaz Robinson, the great fullback for the Phantoms back in the last decade.
There you go. Here's Turner, just followed by Kimani. Gotta give him a nickname, Kimani Robinson.
A bulldozer. I mean, he just comes in. Now you see again they go with the double tight end. Joshua Austin on the far side. It's hard to tell who they got. No, it's a Tajay Turner, it looks like, as the left fullback.
Daniels under center. Goes back to Turner. Turner chopping up yards. This time the defense was there. Maybe a gain of maybe 2.
Well, Donovan Cooper pulled, but not in time to make any room. A couple of yards for Turner, who's seeing the lion's share of the carries for the Phantoms this afternoon. Daniels gets his play from Coach Jeremy Blunt. Has his team ready for this big matchup, despite not seeing them since Wednesday afternoon due to weather. Sunshine out now in full. Still a nice breeze and very pleasant temperatures here at Darling Stadium. Daniels trying to drive.
Just got a chuckle out of Coach Coley when he said that. I haven't seen my kids since Wednesday. It was just the way he put it. Daniels, this time under center, rolls out. He's going to go to Hargraves, but it was short.
The one hopper down there.
If this was baseball, it'd be a good play, but not in football, so it's incomplete.
Elijah Highsmith on the pursuit, and I think even just the footsteps made Daniels rush the pass. Tough to run and throw it. I've seen those type of plays.
Daniels on the rollout a lot today, Frank.
Trying to get him some room.
You know, we've seen Highsmith more on defense, Frank, than offense this year.
Remember, Chris Daniels only 5'9", by the way. So trying to get over top of some of these tall linemen on his own squad. Look at 78. Jabari Batten, 6'1", 309. So he's tall and wide.
So shotgun for Daniels. Turner in the backfield, the sophomore running back. Goes back to pass. He's going to go to, that's a good catch by number 11, John Tucker, the Kickintan transfer, 6'1", 190 senior.
Jaden Jackson brings him down, number 11.
Good sized kid, Frank.
And the ball's inside the 5-yard line, down to the 1. Crabber defense for the 3rd time in 3 possessions by the Phantoms, having to ward off a goal line attack.
With 10:01 left in the 3rd quarter.
They put one in here, Frank. It's going to be difficult the way Hampton's offense has been playing.
And Hampton's Carell McKinney right over top of the center, trying to anticipate. You got both Austin, Robinson, and then Turner in the backfield for
Daniels.
Phantoms.
Goes to Robinson. It's going to be close. They're going to say he's short.
They give they hands up, touchdown.
That's the players. No officials have put his hands up yet. Yeah. Now it's a touchdown.
They got a lot of hands up, but Robinson, who's hard to stop.
A touchdown has been signaled.
They're stopping it now.
Direction on the signal.
No, it's not. Even
It's
Jim
not a
Shopner of the
touchdown.
stadium says nope. So Robinson takes it down to the 1-inch line. There's several hands up marking touchdown, but it is not.
So the 1-inch line now. Yeah.
Second down.
Got a blade of grass between the tip of the football and the goal line. Daniels comes out with the play, which has got to be just run the ball forward.
Yeah, I thought he raised his hand, but
See if Robinson gets the honor of carrying the ball.
it
No,
might be just Daniels over center.
Trayvon Hayes also. Hayes
That's
or
gonna-
Austin. It's hard to see the number. Now 5-yard penalty, I believe, on
Penalty marker.
the Phantoms.
Oh,
So
false
legal
start.
procedure.
How-
Yeah.
Daniels wasn't even under center. He was directing the trap.
False
He's trying to
start
call an audible.
against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, that helps the Crabbers. Ball moves back to just prior to the 5-yard line. Second down and goal from there. See, the Phantoms decided to go wide this time. Daniels brings the play in from Jeremy Blunt.
So
It is 22. Trayvon Hayes
Yep.
in front of Turner.
Second and goal from the 6. Daniel under center. Gonna go to Turner, and he's brought down, looks like by Orlando Robinson.
That's a great tackle out there.
Robinson, who had that rough in the passer play earlier, makes up for it this time and takes Turner down for a loss.
6'1", only 167 pounds.
You
But
see the
athletic.
leverage here, Frank,
Yeah.
as he just brings down. He looks like he pushed Harrell out the way, or Harrell. And looks like they lost, what, 5 yards on the play.
A big play for the Crabbers. So the penalty and now the tackle in the backfield. Time called.
Timeout. Phoebus.
Phantoms take the first here. They
So-
lead it 10-0 with 8:21 to go here in the third period.
Jeez, defense, Frank Hampton's defense, with the exception of that one play, but I mean, you can't fault them on that first touchdown drive for Phoebus because they might have just been fatigued at that point, but their defense is as advertised so far.
Yeah, they've been out there a long
Been out there a
time.
very long time.
Don't have a time of possession. I wish we did because it would show, I think, Phantoms have had the ball for at least 2/3, if not 3/4 of the playing time so far. The Crabbers only with 15 yards in the first half.
And you can't say what if in sports, but take away those 2 special team blunders by Hampton, and it's a whole new game. But again, in a game like this, only 1 or 2 plays make a difference. So I mean, you just never know what would have happened if they wouldn't have fumbled those the punt and the kickoff return.
Crabbers ready to go. The Phantoms have a new play.
So it's going to be 3rd and goal, Frank, from the looks like the 14,
Jalen White in the backfield now.
13-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 13. Interesting situation here. If they're not able to get it, do they go with Wallace? We'll see. As Jalen White's back in the backfield with 4 receivers. Daniels back to pass. A little bit of pressure. He's going to throw it in the end zone. It's going to be caught by Hargraves. Touchdown. What a play.
Right in front of Isaiah Banks.
Hargraves, number 4.
Hargraves, who gets great body position. You see, he turns his body. There's no way he can reach around, and 6 more points for the Phantoms. 16-0 now.
Well, Hargraves asked us to say something good about him today, and he's made some great catches, and he got a touchdown today in this big game.
Anthony Wallace trying to dot the I here.
16-0 for Phoebus. Yeah, Wallace. Don't jinx him. You jinx Mays a kick attempt, Frank.
Yep, there we go.
We're not going to jinx Wallace. It's a 17-0.
17-0 Phantoms here with 8:20 to go in the third quarter. Tough play, and Banks fumbles the ball on the kickoff, and then is beaten by Hargraves across the middle. If we had that on replay, you see how the body positioning of Hargraves, which, again, may be one of the best athletes. He certainly is one of the best athletes in the Peninsula
He has
District.
size and speed. great knowledge of the game.
And that time, in a sharp throw, as Daniels had time to make the throw. So the Crabbers have dug themselves a hole here, but there's plenty of time left. They're going to have to put together some offensive
Did you see the
motion.
replay here, Frank, as we're talking about?
Hargraves on the left side. He comes across the middle and cuts over and then blocks out the sun and
again,
just makes the call.
1, 2, 3, 4, what, 5?
6.
6 Crabbers around
Crabbers
Hargraves.
around him. And yet he's able to find an opening and turn his body so that only he can see how open, only his quarterback can see how open he is. So Wallace to kick off from his own 40-yard line here at Darling Stadium. Good crowd in for a Saturday afternoon ball game. Sure would like to see these stands filled. I think a lot of the friends and family are missing out seeing these games live. We're glad to be bringing you these games on television, though.
Wallace.
You could join us there.
This is going to go to Bryant, number 21. It's going to go outside, but Dixon has a chance to get him, and he, almost gets him. Bryant with a decent return.
Very good return, up to about the 32, maybe the 32-yard line where they're going to spot him. So 1st and 10 for the Crabbers. Seemed like their offense hadn't been on the field much.
Yeah, not at all. 17-0 Phoebus.
Petrakowski coming in the quarterback.
You see the return here, Frank, is Dixon had a pursuit.
Let's see what old Mike Smith got up his sleeve. The second winningest active coach in high school football in the nation.
All time.
Already got something going on. Let's see what he brings in. He brings in a fullback.
Looks like that's Highsmith at fullback.
Crabbers number, looks like Parham.
Going from some different running backs.
Deshawi Parham. He picks up a yard.
1 yard gain, 2nd and 9.
So 1 yard gain, 2nd and 9, and he's gonna go with another quarterback here, Frank. Looks like it's gonna be number 30. That's Terry
Johnson James.
So he.
That on the Phoebus sideline is thrown, or on their side of the line of scrimmage.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
So 5 yards against Phoebus, moves the ball down.
2nd down.
2nd and 4 for the Crabbers. They could use a 1st down. Just to get themselves moving. And here they come. You know, man-to-man coverage on the corners out here. 22 is Javon Richardson.
Oh, they're in there.
And that's Terry Johnson James. He's pushed back. Who had his head? Number 22, Trevon Hayes.
A lot of hitting going on down in the trenches there.
Dominic Edwards seemed to have his feet. So 3rd down and about a yard for the Crabbers. And here comes the quarterback again, Terry Johnson James.
Well, Coach Smith, I have a bone to pick with him because he said only 2 quarterbacks were going to play today.
And he told you a story.
Johnson James is the 3rd one to play. So now they have Johnson James and Highsmith in the backfield. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Motion by the Crabbers. It's going to go back 5 yards. Shooting themselves in the foot all afternoon long on the Hampton Crabbers. That hurts. 5 of those yards they picked up was by penalty. They'd take them back to the 36-yard line.
You see the crowd. Nice crowd on the Phoebus side, Frank.
Very nice crowd. Everybody bundled up today. First day it's been cool out here at Darling Stadium.
Let's hope to get more fan participation at these games. A few more games left. One more game, regular season game left for us, Frank. Hampton versus Woodside next Friday night under the lights here at Darling Stadium.
After the penalty, 3rd and 6 for the Crabbers.
So it's going to be 3rd and 6 now, Frank, from the 36. Johnson James still at quarterback. He's going to throw. Johnson James is going to throw. And that's going to be a little fighting going on. Is
no call again.
Call.
As the intended receiver was Javon Richardson down the sideline, man to man.
See the replay here, Frank. Johnson James going back to throw. Latrell Smith. Oh, that's good defense.
Yep.
Good defense.
Good body work by Latrell Smith. He was the top student athlete on the Phoebus team. We wanted to mention that the top on the Hampton side was Jalen Bethay.
Yep.
Safety.
Not playing tonight.
Not playing today.
Low snap.
Flags.
Hampton 3rd and 1. An opportunity to move the chains.
And the penalty and then the incomplete pass leads them back to Amir Folks.
Illegal shift against the offense.
So another
5-yard penalty.
Back. Folks, who's kicking it into the wind. Barry Hargraves, of course, back to receive it. Folks needs a boomer of a punt right here.
Because Hargraves, he's dangerous with the ball in his hands.
Kick it up in the air far enough to allow his cover team to get down there with Hargraves.
Oh, high snap.
Nice catch by Folks.
What was that? And it's going to be touched by Phoebus Phantom. They're going to get on it, though.
Yeah, third big mistake by the Crabbers. Bad snap. Folks, I think, lucky to even corral the ball. Tries to get it off, ends up kicking a ground ball, hits his own player, bounces over, and a Phantom falls on it. 1st and 10 Phoebus from the Crabber 29. This whole game being played now in the Crabber end of the field.
Yep.
Well, Chris Daniels and his offense, no rest for the weary. They lead at 17-0 here at Darlin Stadium. 5:52 to go in the 3rd. Out comes Daniels. Kamani Robinson out there, number 40. Keep an eye on him. Behind him, Jalen White at tailback. Robinson over on the right side behind the right tackle.
Score here, Frank puts a dagger in the Crabbers. Hargraves in motion. They fake to him. Daniels back to pass.
Right down the middle, and it's going to be
they're going
this incidental contact between the Crabbers, number 11, Jaden Jackson, and the intended receiver was Latrell Smith. So the cross-up of feet, fortunate, I think, for Hampton, is Smith seemed to be getting into open territory there right at the goal line. 2nd down and 10.
Daniels under center. Goes to Robinson, our guy, fullback.
Nice stop by the Crabbers. Number 64 met him first, Orlando Robinson. Hassel at his feet. Hassel. We're going to settle on these pronunciations before we go, because Jim Schaffner is working with a few. We were listening to the coaches.
Yeah, but like I said, coaches will give you nicknames. Then we'll be calling them by their nicknames the rest of the year. So 39, Frank, for Phoebus from the 28. I formation.
Hargraves on the near side, man-to-man.
Daniels back to pass. He's going to Hargraves again. That's that sweet spot in that defense.
3rd pass to this same spot. Each time he's beaten Turner, excuse me, not Turner, Jones. He's wide open in front of Jones.
It's going to be close to a 1st down. They're going to have to measure. As you see here, Frank, again, in that sweet spot of that defense, as Daniels and Hargraves connect again on a pass play.
That play's been open. It's the 3rd completion to that side. Hargraves sometime, I think, is underused.
I agree.
But they've gone to him today, especially when they need a quick 1st down. I think he's got one here.
It's going to be a 1st down for Phoebus.
1st down by the nose of the football. 1st and 10 from the 19 for the Phantoms.
Falcons have a first down.
So 1st and 10 from the 19. Daniels, shotgun, goes to Jalen White. Is that going to be a hold?
Yeah, I think so. That time tackled by the Crabbers. Darrell McKinney, who's been very active. It is
That
going to
might be a face mask against Hampton.
No, I think he indicated it's against the Phantoms. Jim Mayhew over there on the far side with the football. Asking Mike Smith what he wants to do with that play. They may
I thought I saw a
decline
face
that.
mask, but maybe not. That's why I'm up here, Frank.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Remains first down.
Of course, we're about what would you think, about 10 stories up, so hard for us to see sometimes. We do have an HD monitor that we can look at, which really blessed to have, but sometimes we miss it.
We're back above the 30 here. Got word that Gloucester has defeated Menchville today.
So they're back in that playoff hunt. Daniels back to pass. Pressure again. He got away from it. It's going to be incomplete.
Smith, you can see how fast Amari Smith is. He was chasing him down the 45-yard line. Daniels gets it off. No receiver anywhere near, but he's outside the tack.
And with that Gloucester win, Frank, that gives Menchville and Denby combined 0-12 on the season. Ouch.
Long year for Northern Newport News.
Well, Woodside's waving the flag for Northern Newport News, but 0-12 between those two teams. So 2nd and 22 from the 31.
I'm not so sure the Crabbers and penalties have, the Crabber D and penalties combined have gotten the offense, we've gotten more yards than the offense for Hampton High School.
Daniels in the shotgun. Back to pass. Is that going to be Hargrave? No, that's going to be Dixon in that zone again. It's going to be short of the first down, though.
But there's certainly an open spot over there. Deontay Jones had several balls caught in front of him. That time, the zone is, they found the gap in the zone. It's right there on the right side.
They found something over there, Frank.
A third now and a manageable 6 for the Phantoms.
I got a chance to talk to offensive coordinator Coach Carson earlier before the game, Frank.
It was good to catch up with him.
Yes, so he's mixing it up on offense as he sees something in that sweet spot. As Hargraves and now Dixon catch the balls, and now it's 3rd and 6 from the 16. Seems like Phoebus stays in this area of the field. Daniels back to pass, steps up in the pocket, sees nothing down the field, he keeps it. It's going to be short of the first down.
Yeah, you're in Wallace's distance. And Jeremy Blunt with a 17-0 lead here with 3:20 to go in the third. We'll see what he wants to do. He may just go for it here.
He's going to bring in Wallace.
No, it is going to be Wallace.
Let's see what kind of range Wallace has. It looks like it's going to be close to the same distance as the first kick, about 24 yards. Maybe this might be a little longer.
No, a little longer, yeah. Holder's going to spot it up. And Smith going to do the holding.
Always good to have a receiver as your holder.
Spotted up on the 19-yard line, so a 29-yarder here. Attempted with the wind at Wallace's back.
Oh, man, he nailed it. No.
And it's good. So the Phantoms scoring 10.
I'm telling you, Frank, we haven't had a kicker like this in a while at the PD.
Yeah, that's 10 in the quarter.
Yep.
So they're picking up the scoring pace. Crabbers have not yet gotten any offensive motion at all. The couple of fumbles, couple of penalties, and mistakes have cost the Crabbers any chance here of putting points on the board so far. They've got 3:15 to go in the third and plus the fourth to try to make up for that. Game not completely out of reach at 20-0.
Well, You know, Hampton had their chances. It was close early, and this late in the first half, early second half is what changed the game, Frank.
At the end of this game, we're going to get the chance to vote on the most valuable player here in the Great American Rivalry game. And the question, the ballot says, folks, it says, please list the name of the individual who displayed the most valuable contribution to the success of his team or the overall outcome of the game.
Yep. Here's the ballot.
Yep. And
fortunate enough to be a part of it.
Player with the most votes to win tonight's Great American Rivalry Series Most Valuable Player Award. That'd be the third award they handed out. So the 2 top scholar athletes and then the most valuable player.
It's going to be a tough decision for me, Frank.
Kick over to Crabbers number 21. And he points.
Well, he had a hole.
That's where I'm going. And he's up to the 30-yard line. That's number 21. Calvin Bryant had some good returns, couple of those so far. So 1st and 10 for the Crabbers here with 3:07 to go in the third.
You see the return here, Frank.
Now, so far, what do you think, Wu-Bei? We're seeing Chris Daniels has certainly run his offense well. I am always partial to the fullback.
Yeah, I mean, you love the fullback.
But
and
Hargraves made some good catches.
Hargraves and Dixon down here in the last drive. I'm really impressed with the young kid Turner, Anthony Turner, the sophomore, comes in for Jalen White. Again, Phoebus is loaded on offense. They just have to, keep their composure in this game and the rest of the season. It's what, 20-0 here.
Kerry Johnson-James back at quarterback. He's going to run the ball and not pick up any yardage. Maybe a yard. They give them a yard on the far side spot. 2nd and 9 for the Crabbers. Problem is the Crabber offense is getting predictable. The only thing that is not predictable is who's going to be the quarterback.
Pietrkowski back in now.
Oh, the junior Max Pietrkowski in. See if he can move the team.
He's going to do a handoff. Ooh.
Yard gain there by the Crabbers number 6, Darrell Butler.
Butler, yeah.
Butler hadn't had that many opportunities this afternoon.
Yeah.
He's one of a very good running back. So 3rd down now and about 8 for the Crabbers. Pietrkowski gets his 2nd play in a row. Throwing into the sunlight.
3rd and 8 here. Now, I wonder if this is going to be 4-down territory. Pietrkowski in the shotgun. Bobbles a snap.
He's going to run it himself.
He's not going to be close. He's going to be about 4 yards, maybe 3 or 4 yards short. So let's see what Hampton does here.
Whatever they're doing is not working. They're not picking up a lot of yards, a lot of rushes that are caught early by the Phantom defense. And in comes the punting squad. Mike Smith going to try to get a little better field position.
Yeah.
Amir Folks, 5'8", 245-pound guard who also punts, is on again for Hampton. Kicking back to Barry Hargraves.
The dangerous Barry Hargraves. Low snap. This was just as bad as the first punt.
Right, the 48-yard line. And 1st and 10 for the Phantoms.
Goes out of bounds. Short punt.
Yeah, Hampton Crabber team we haven't seen much in history. They can't get anything going on offense. So all the pressure now on the defenders. And they've been out there a long time this afternoon.
Frank, long time.
Yeah, sure, it's a pleasant day to be out, but they've been on this field a lot.
Not a pleasant day when you have 6 foot 263, 6 foot 268, and 300 pounders pushing you around for 4 quarters when you're pretty fatigued. Is that's what the Phoebus offensive line has been doing, the Hampton defensive line. They contained Hampton's offense in the first half, but as you sit around and don't give your defense any breaks. They come out and get tired. Is Jalen White gets another carry. The defense is there for a loss.
Nothing for Jalen White that time.
They've had more success with Turner in the game.
Kyrell McKinney is the first one to hit him.
Well, he's had a great game tonight. Or
So
today.
number 55, Gene Bagley.
No gain on the play.
So 2nd and 10. I'm not sure, but that Daniels didn't audible that play.
Yeah.
He's looking over the defensive lineup.
I'm going to ask Coach Blunt about that. How much does he trust his quarterback to audible? It looks like he trusts him pretty well here. Calls a lot of audibles. It looks like he's calling another one. As Kimani Robinson comes up to him as he calls a timeout.
Yeah. No, the quarter. So
quarter,
Phoebus players raise their 4 fingers, say one more quarter of play. And the Phantoms are going to turn around and go towards the sunlight here in the 4th quarter. They lead it 20-0 after a 10-point outburst in the 3rd quarter. Fed by the fumbled kickoff return to start the quarter. Well, we're glad you're with us here on LSC 48. We're proud to be able to bring you the Darling doubleheader today. Certainly hope that the City of Hampton, the Hampton City Schools, pick up on this idea for next fall. We have a couple of maybe the 4 Hampton squads can face off 2 and 2, and we can make this a festival day here at the ballpark.
Great idea.
This has been a wonderful day for football. We watched Kickintan Warriors win this morning, 41-8.
Do like a Hampton Bethel Kickintan Phoebus.
Be wonderful. Just any combination to get the teams out here in front of the crowd. I would do a 1 ticket for both games, no break, maybe an hour break in between. Let the players get warm up, and I'd let fans go in and out.
Yeah.
You could even do it where you just sell a lot of food and make it a free entry.
2nd and 10. Daniels under center, goes back to pass. Is going to be complete to Jalen White. He gets a stiff arm. He goes down the field. Good block by Latrell Smith. Good pickup. Jalen White in the flat.
That was, who was that on the defensive battle that got pushed down by the stiff arm? Yeah, he's cramping up his left thigh, giving him trouble. Here's just a short pass outside to the running back. And down goes the Crabber player, and another 15-yard pickup. So the Phoebus Phantoms on the move here against Crabber defense. It's played basically most of this game.
Yeah.
Hargraves out to the right side, man-to-man coverage.
I look like they're going to try to double team him here. Let's see what they do. It's
Jalen White right up the middle. Samari Smith meets him head on and takes him down. No room there.
Jalen White, number 12 with the carry, stood up and taken down by number 77.
Kyrell McKinney, who's made a lot of tackles with the Crabbers, comes up slowly, but it looks like he's okay. 2nd and 8. Tyrell Daniels coming in the ball game.
I wish I could vote for McKinney for MVP. He's had that kind of game on the defensive line.
He has, but he's more of a saving role.
Yeah.
It doesn't say in our instructions the player who kept the other team from beating them worse.
So 2nd and 9 from the 27. Phoebus rolling in this game 20-0.
Hargraves on the near side now by himself.
Daniels under center, fakes to White.
Looking
goes back
right.
to pass, and it's going to be complete.
Nice catch, good tackle. Great coverage out there, but couldn't prevent a good catch.
That's Kimani Robinson, right?
And Robinson with a catch. Boy, that's a dangerous combination. A guy that can block like that and catch a pass.
And he can run with the ball.
We call those all-pro fullbacks,
That's
don't we?
right.
Good hands and good blocking skills. Nice throw over.
Look at the
Good
agility
reach up.
on that
Look at
one.
that.
Yeah. Reached up and got it.
And a surprise target for the Phantoms. Robinson out of the backfield. Well covered, but
Well covered.
able to haul
Still
it in.
pulls it down. So still not enough for a first down. It's going to be 3rd and 2 from the 20 for Phoebus. Daniels under center. It's going to be stopped short of the first down.
It is short. Good half yard. short. So fourth down, and I would think Jeremy Blunt has no doubt. And I see no doubt, going to go for this.
Somebody's
Deep in Crabber territory. And that is the Crabber number 8, Deontay Davis, down.
So we will have timeout for an injured player at 9:27 remaining in the game.
And it looks like a cramp for Davis. So long afternoon wearing down the salt content of these guys. He's going to get a little Gatorade.
Yeah.
9:27 to go here in the fourth. The Great American Rivalry Series in town. Crabbers have to do a little bit of coming back here to even get close. They trail at 20-0.
So 4th and 1, Frank Phoebus is going to go for it.
Jalen White deep in the backfield.
Their bunch formation.
Daniels, yeah. Daniels takes it.
That's going to be a false start.
5-yard penalty.
Let's see what they do here.
Prior to the snap, false start.
Well, the
offense, 5-yard penalty.
Wallace would have a
4th
shot.
down.
I saw him kicking from the 30 earlier, but it is into the wind. A couple of the taller receivers come in. Alan Dixon, John Tucker have come in. Jeremy Blunt's going to talk it over with his squad, see what they're going to do here. 4th and about 6 from the Crabber 24.
A little surprised by the score. I thought it would be close, which it was in the first half, but Phoebus has pulled away in the second half on some uncharacteristic miscues by Hampton.
Well, what did Marty O'Brien pick it? 24-6?
24-7, I think was his prediction. Your prediction was 24-7, right, Marty? Your prediction of the game? 24-7 was Marty O'Brien's prediction. Yeah. So
he's been good today.
He's been very good.
42-6 prediction for Kecoughtan over Denby, and it was 41-8.
He had 42-6 was your prediction against. 42-6 was your prediction for, and it was 41-8, right? He said.
Yep, 41-8 final. Game 1 of the Darling doubleheader. We want to mention the Crabber Band is here along with that very large group of cheerleaders.
Good to see both bands here. We always love to see both bands here.
Yeah, the crowd was entertained by the Phoebus band at halftime. Jim Schaffner narrating the. I think Jim does such a master of many trades up here. Former Phoebus teacher.
That's right. Good to see him giving back and come up to the booth doing PA. 4th and 6 now for Phoebus. Daniels is flushed out of the pocket. And he's going to be short of a first down.
Good tackle there by, of course, number 64, Orlando Robinson, who's made many good tackles today. Be spotted at the 18-yard line. It's close.
Yeah, it's going to be short.
It's hard to see with that. The sticks are all the way
wait a minute,
across
you're right.
the field.
That might be a first down. They're going to measure. You're right, Frank. It is closer than I thought.
So Phantom's a little conservative on trying to keep the drive going. We'll see if they were successful in their efforts. Good view of it there on the screen. Steve Fryer on the camera work.
First down by a nose.
Just a nose. So the Phantoms keep the drive alive with 8:52 to go here in the fourth quarter. They have had the ball very nearly the entire game today. They lead at 20-0. They're trying to tack on another one. Crabber defense has played admirably.
Yeah.
But really the third quarter is the only time we saw a little weakness, but again caused by the fumble on the kickoff.
Yeah.
And that gave the Phantoms the ball again deep in Crabber territory to start that quarter.
Yeah, it's been a while since Hampton has been outplayed like this. So 1st and 10 from the 18. Daniels on the center. Kimani Robinson and Jalen White in the backfield. They go to White. Good block by Donovan Cooper. White goes outside. Gets to about this 9-yard line on that run.
Jaden Jackson forces him out of bounds, but not before he picks up 9 yards.
So you got Cooper just pulled on that side, Frank. Made room for Jalen White. As you see here in the replay.
Now, this is what I'm thinking. You try a little lob to Barry Hargraves in that far corner. They're way on this side of the field.
Well, you're going to have about 5 crabbers around him.
Hargraves out there waiting to say, I haven't had the ball in 5 or 10 minutes. He is going to go far side. And he'll be covered man-to-man with the guy he's beat most of the day, Jonte Jones.
I say they run here. And they will. Jalen White behind Kimani Robinson.
I think Wube Gabre behind Kimani Robinson picks up 5 yards on that run.
Oh, for sure.
He's across the 5 down to the 3. So 1st and goal, Phantoms.
In on the tackle for the Crabbers, number 77, Samari Smith. With an assist by Sean Hassel.
Out goes Jackson for the Crabbers. Gimping a little bit. In comes number 10, LeBron Newman.
Inside the 5 to the 3.
So 1st and goal from the 3.
It'll be 1st and goal.
I don't think they're going to throw it here, Frank.
Behind Robinson.
Hargrave not in the game. They have Latrell Smith far side.
Daniels
Go
to White.
White. It's a good block by Robinson. Daniels,
He's
White gets in. Touchdown, Phoebus.
The Phantoms stick another touchdown on the board. They're 4th of the afternoon. They lead it 26-0 as Anthony Wallace comes out to try to make it 27. And just nothing the Crabber defense to do. They've been out there all day long. They've had no assistance from the offense at all. And they give up another touchdown. Wallace to kick the extra point from his own 10, making essentially a 20-yard field goal attempt.
Wallace is the key, Frank. Special teams. If you think about the special teams today, as Wallace attempts his kick, as Smith holds. Wallace,
and he's got it.
He's hit every extra point. He's hit 2 field goals. The fumble on the punt and the fumble on the kickoff.
One field goal.
He hit 2, right? He hit 2 field goals, didn't he?
How do you get to 27?
Huh?
And then they only have 3 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought he had 2. He hit 1, made it 3-0, and then he hit this one here, I thought, that made it 20. Well, I don't know. I thought he hit 2 field goals, but
no,
special teams.
Point.
Huh?
That's Marty what he's got. So the Crabbers now line up to take the kickoff. They get the win in the back. So only 3 touchdowns a day for the
3 touchdowns and 2 field goals, yeah. It was Hargraves on a pass, Jalen White on a run, and this one from Jalen White. So Jalen White has 2 touchdown runs. Hargraves on a touchdown pass, and then the 2 field goals.
Well,
by
we
Wallace.
certainly, and so today we've seen 2 of the best kickers in the Peninsula District, James May from Kickingham, and now Wallace. Wallace doing a great job. He's really grown into this job.
Very good to see. Again, special teams was the key. People always talk about offense and defense, but with Hampton with 2 miscues on field on special teams, and then Wallace with the 2 field goals, that's going to be Jones.
Yep.
On the
Jones
return.
Up to about the 23-yard line, maybe the 24 is the way they spot it. And they've got it 1st and 10 with 7:29 to go and trailing by 27 points.
See what they have at quarterback. It's the old game
Banks
show.
comes off, so here comes Pietrkowski.
It's the game show, and they have the three
Right,
curtains.
right.
You see who's coming out of the quarterback.
Game,
yeah.
Either that or Price is Right.
Price is Right. Or the
Pietrkowski
Wayne Brady show, where they just say,
That's right. Just do something.
So we're going to have Pietrkowski here. He comes out of window number 1. He's the quarterback this drive. Down 27-0. Pietrkowski keeps the ball. They're going to be
Doesn't fool anybody.
penalized for something. It might be a hold on Hampton.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a hold.
With the carry for the Crabs, number
And they're going to push him back 10 yards.
He is tracked now by Josiah Silver and brought down.
Well, you know, Wube, we've seen Hampton a couple of times. We saw him against Kickingham, where the only offense we saw in that game was when they
10-yard
brought
penalty.
in Daquan Battle to quarterback, and he throws just winged the ball all over the field and drove him down for a quick
I
touchdown.
haven't seen Battle at quarterback today.
Well, I'm surprised we've seen 3 different quarterbacks: Petrakowski, Banks, and then the Terry Johnson James.
Which surprised us all. We haven't heard much about him this year. Coach Smith didn't mention him earlier in pregame.
So first and about 22 for the Crabbers.
Under center. Oh.
Yeah, tackle made on Darrell Butler. Yeah, I think he lost a few more yards, 4 more yards. So the Crabbers going the wrong way here between the penalty and the losses. Petrakowski goes over to get the play. Clock has continued on 27-0 Phoebus here. You know, pregame we did not expect this kind of difference in scoring. Phoebus came in as the favorite. I think if you gave somebody the Crabbers in 27 points, they'd have taken the Crabbers.
Yeah. The offense was going to be their concern today. We just didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Highsmith comes on, and he's the tailback.
I think it's more or less, Frank, they just haven't found someone that they feel comfortable with right now. Petrakowski back to pass. It's going to be, complete, but then knocked out of the hands of Battle.
Yeah, nice tackle out there by Tylen Baldwin, who's moved from his corner spot to safety.
Great play, man.
And he sticks number 6, Darrell Butler, right as the ball arrives.
Butler, I said Battle.
Knocks
Butler.
the ball right out. Well, they've changed numbers. Butler was 5, now he was running 2, now he's 6. So 3rd down now and a lot. 25 according to Herman Drone. Petrakowski with a back on either side. 2 right, 1 left.
Yep, 3 receivers. He goes back to pass. He's going to go long. Let's go. No flag. They've been very generous with the flags on the outside today.
Down the ball just thrown up in the air.
I mean, you like the fact they're letting them play, but some are a little questionable. But
now you got a flag in the backfield.
You see the replay here, Frank, on that pass. Petrakowski with a nice throw. Give the receiver an opportunity to make a play.
Another hole in the Crabbers.
Good looking coach.
Holding
Blunt, Frank.
on the offense. That penalty line brings up 4th down.
Won a state championship as a player, trying to get one as a coach. It's taken them pretty far the last couple years to the state semis.
4th and 25, and out comes a punting team.
It's a little punt team now. It's a new punter now, Frank, for Hampton. They're switching all kinds of plays.
You got 2. You want to see mine? We're going to get 2 to run. A block punt. The ball is out of the
that's going to be a
end zone.
safety.
I think it's dancing on top, so a safety.
Just curious as who you were. Somebody Robinson.
Yeah. Who do we got, and who's going to gather these for us? Are you gathering them?
Oh,
Okay.
Gather them up. You want me to take them?
You may want to check with the guys down there. Marty's got one
I'll
too.
take them. I'll collect them.
they'll be there in 5.
We got to give our ballots,
5 minutes.
and then as we watch that block punt, we'll see the replay here. It's Justin Kramer,
Oh, man.
and that's blocked. And you see it spins right on the out-of-bounds line. So it's going to be a safety, and the Crabbers going to punt the ball away.
And who would have thought a possibility of a running clock was Hampton Phoebus game? Never thought I would do that. But if you remember 2 years ago, there was a running clock, 44-0, Hampton over Phoebus.
That's right.
The Dad Newsome show, as I like to call it.
Yeah, that's just this year the Phoebus Phantoms have got their number. That number down 29-0 over the Crabbers. They're going to punt it away. That was the Kramer.
So they just
who came in to kick.
Julian
Kramer.
They've changed punters, running backs, and quarterbacks today,
well,
Frank.
Kramer's a kicker, and he's been kicking off, although we haven't seen the Crabbers kick off since first half.
Yeah, he's an Australian, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought, can't you kick it any way
It's a
you
free
want?
kick, yeah. Which actually gives an advantage. He can kick it anywhere he wants. As he gets it at a 20.
Time call.
Referee time. Officials timeout.
Yeah. So a little slow down here as the officials get straight. And give him a tee. It's a free kick.
Yeah.
Give him a tee and let him kick it a little
deeper. He
deeper.
doesn't want to kick it.
You know, not that Barry Hargraves on his own 35.
Yeah.
You want to kick it, yeah, and now Hargraves has to move back. You got to at least make it difficult for Barry.
Absolutely.
Who's going to move back all the way to his 34. He's going to move back a yard.
1 yard back.
Now he steps back.
Good kick.
Gets a little leg underneath it. It's going to be Hargraves from his 30.
Yep.
And right up the middle.
And he's going to take it off.
There he goes. Oh, there's a block in the back.
Well, that's going to come back, but still like to see that electrifying play by Barry Hargraves. Let's see what the flag is.
No doubt. It's a hold on.
We're going to do a re-kick, though. Just have to kick to him.
Now let's see what they got. He flashed to Jeremy Blunt.
He said, come on back.
And Blunt's going to be, he flashed the number of the offender.
Holding
it's gonna be a hold on
the
the
return
Phantoms.
team. 10-yard
I'm
penalty.
not sure the hold would have helped Barry
It'll be
Hargraves.
first down.
He was just a train that nobody was going to stop. And I'm not sure he got touched.
I don't think he did.
They're going to move the ball back from the 43 of the Crabbers where the penalty occurred.
Holding call will wipe out Barry Hargraves' return.
Back to the 47
Here
of
you
the
go,
Phantoms.
Frank. Here's the replay. As you see Hargraves.
The hold is
I don't see much.
No, I think it was on the near side of the runner.
As you see,
and Hargraves not touched. So 1st and 10 for the Phantoms with 5:42 to go in the fourth quarter. They lead at 29-0. 2 field goals, a safety, and 3. Let's see. I think the hole was up in here, up on the near side. But again, Chris Daniels out with his squad. Barry Hargraves off the field, taking a breather after running that back, but it's all for naught.
Daniels to Baldwin. Baldwin has some room. Now Baldwin's going to take it down the field, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds around the 35.
So Tyler Baldwin gets to carry the ball. And up to about the 35-yard line of the Crabbers. First down and 10.
We haven't seen Baldwin on offense today. Comes in, gets a jet sweep. Good blocking up front. And by Latrell Smith, number 5, to free him for a good game.
Baldwin makes his mark usually as a defender.
You saw that
usually
hit.
the corner spot. Today playing safety.
Earlier. So good pickup by Baldwin. 1st and 10 from the 35 for Phoebus. Phoebus this time with Smith in motion. Goes to Turner. Turner, good run. Orlando Robinson brings him down, but not before a big pickup close to a first down.
Robinson had a busy day, but absent his play, it may be more than 29-0. Clock's going to run. Phantom band seems to get louder as they win.
So So 2nd and 3 for Phoebus.
Daniels taking his time.
Pass to Smith. It's going to be another flag.
Yep. Maybe a hold out here. I think we want to appreciate Scott Bradagum for being here. Good to have you here, Scott.
All right. Spot. Get the flag.
A flag on the play.
All right, we'll go 10 from there.
Jim Mayhew discussing the penalty. And it's going to come back against the Phantoms.
Holding.
10-yard holding
Against
penalty.
the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
I would expect Jeremy Blunt to try a few passes. Hargraves draws a crowd, but he's got a couple other talented receivers, including Tylen Baldwin.
Got Dixon, you got Latrell Smith.
Let's see if he tries to open up a little bit here with only 4:42 to go and a 29-point lead.
2nd and 13.
Hargraves on the near side, 3 receivers on the far.
4:35 remains in regulation.
So Daniels in the shotgun, back to pass. You called it, Frank. Wide open is Latrell Smith in the underneath.
And he's up across the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3rd down and about 4 for the Phantoms from that spot as the clock continues to run.
Diaz on the tackle for Hampton.
You know, we haven't called his name much here in the second half, but he's an ever-present force. But when they're, you know, generally the defense has faced the Phantoms inside the 10.
Right.
It'll be the linemen to stop them if they're going to get stopped.
Daniels again in the shotgun. 3rd and 4 from the 29. Turner in the backfield. Another rollout.
Dixon with the turn and stop.
Oh, nice route. Nice route by Dixon. He's still on his feet. He gets a 1st down. Good route by Dixon.
And he victimizes Deontay Jones again. He's had a hard afternoon over there at that corner spot. They've gone right at him and pushed him back.
Got Coach
4 or 5
Coach
yards.
Johnson up at the booth. Former Phoebus coach, won a few state championships, right? How many rings you got?
So you see the play there, and that was a good spot. Dixon goes down, turns around, and just waits. And Jones had been driven off the ball, driven off the receiver. Plenty of time for Daniels to deliver the strike. 1st down and 10. Phantoms from their own, or from the Crowder 17.
So again, you called it, Frank. Put the ball in the air, and that's what they're doing here in the 4th quarter.
They're going to have to put the ball in the air at some point.
Daniels with the pass to Hargraves,
and
touchdown
right in front of Jones.
So he gets it back, Frank. They called the punt.
Well,
The free
Barry
kick
Hargraves
back, and
is
then he
a
gets a
slant
touchdown.
across the middle. Daniels on the run, makes a throw to Hargraves on the run, and another touchdown tacked on. 35-0 now, Phantoms, and that clock will run. And Wallace back on the field.
2 running clocks.
Deontay Jones had a tough afternoon here at Darling Stadium. One that you can't blame it all on him. Not getting a lot of help from his fellow defenders. Wallace kicks it through. 36-0 Phoebus. And a surprising outcome here.
So Andy Foley in our ear, the director, says we really pick these games pretty
Now,
well.
This is you know, you don't want to miss Great American Rivalry.
Yeah, you gotta do this one. Not really.
The Hampton Crabbers wish we missed it. It's been a tough afternoon.
I'm a little shocked by the score.
Well, I'm not sure. You know, the mistakes really put the Crabbers behind. You see him on the run,
Oh, what a
and
throw.
then
That's a
throws
nice
it back
throw.
across his body. And Jones standing there watching. I mean, he's following him, but there's no help. There's no safety back there.
Well,
the safety had stepped up.
like you said, Frank, the 2 mistakes were key.
That did it.
I mean, it was
They were down
3-0 in the
10-0.
2nd quarter. Yeah. So, you know.
Too much Phantom today. Wallace to kick off into the sunshine as the sun starting to set here. Hard to believe we've been here the entire day, Wube.
Doesn't feel like it. When you're having fun, I guess you don't realize how long you've been here. But we've been here since 7
It's been
a.m.
a good crew here. Wallace with the kick. Going to be Jones himself. A chance to make something happen here. He's going to go to the far side and stick it up in the middle and tackle right there about the 26-yard line. I want to thank Andy Foley for allowing us to bring you the Darling doubleheader today.
He was star watching.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of great help out there.
Yeah.
Renee Camden, Krista Campbell, Randy Begoli. We got his son on the camera.
Alex.
Yep. Nate Braxton on the one camera.
Michael Price and Stephen Fryer on the ground.
I'm missing my nephew, Matt Buckwalter. We can say he's off.
Absolutely.
These cameramen have done a great job.
We ought to thank them absolutely as we get a run. Pichakowski in. Looks like he gave it to Butler on that run.
Tackle out there. Looks like Phoebus is number 55. Josiah Silver in.
Good look at that Phoebus band, Frank.
Picked up too. Yeah, the Phoebus band keep going.
You say it gets louder as the more points they score. Huh?
Not a homecoming game like the Warriors celebrated this morning, but I'm sure a good night down at Woodland Road tonight for the Phantoms as they get one of these wins against the Crabbers. Pichakowski going to the right side and throws it to nobody. The receiver had stopped. 3 Phantoms on that side on coverage. So nothing to do there. The clock continues to run, even though it's an incomplete pass. It's 35 or 36-0. So under the VHSL rules, the clock's going to run.
Yeah, I'm almost convinced, Frank. I think a lot of the revolving door positions here going on for Hampton is for the lack of just feeling confident about a lineup. I mean, they played 3 quarterbacks today. They even switched punters. Running backs have been rolling in and out. So, you know, with Coach Smith coming back, 3rd game under his belt, I still feel like he's trying to find the right pieces to plug in for this offense.
Probably the last play of the ball game here is Pichakowski.
And we're getting that Pichakowski finished the 4th quarter for the Crabbers. And it's going to be a pass complete.
And a tackle, I think, has prevented the first down.
That's Jones.
The clock's going to keep running. They do. They're going to give him a first down. They do. So an 8-yard pickup for Pichakowski, but he probably doesn't have enough time to get on the playoff. If he does, he needs to throw it long. Nope, that's going to do it. As the clock ticks down, Pichakowski not going to have time to bring the play on the field. And the clock's going to go. Final score here in this one, 36-0 for the Phoebus Phantoms. Have we got any idea of who the Great American Rivalry player of the game is? I think it's Barry Hargraves.
Oh, yeah.
We think it's Barry Hargraves.
That's who
I got to tell you, who'd you vote for?
I picked Barry Hargraves.
I picked Kamani Robinson.
I figured you would.
I thought that his play, especially when they went away from that Lake Taylor lineup, that formation they used against Lake Taylor, I thought was much better when they go to the standard.
I think it could be either, Coach Smith. It could either be Daniels or Hargraves, in my opinion. Jalen White had 2 touchdowns as well. So
Coach Smith's going to come over and shake hands with his counterparts. And the Crabbers drop another one. They dropped to 3-4.
Yeah.
Phantoms moved to 5-1. Well, we'll be back here next week to see these Crabbers again. They got a tough one, Wube. They got Woodside Wolverines next week.
Doesn't get any easier for the Crabbers. Woodside, another top team in the district, so we'll see what the Crabbers can do next week here at Darling Stadium.
On behalf of my partner, Wube Garay, Frank Edgar saying thank you for joining us here on LSC 48. The final score from Darling Stadium in the doubleheader today. The Phoebus Phantoms 36, the Hampton Crabbers 0. See you next weekend.